Good morning. Sir Keir Starmer leaves a £5 billion black hole in the defence investment budget.
That's right. The outgoing Prime Minister's parting gift to the next Prime Minister, probably Andy Burnham, could force him to lead to raise taxes in the next budget to plug the gap.
But the settlement I'm setting out today is the right choice for the country. It delivers the decisive action we need on defence in a way that is within our fiscal rules.
Well, all that, and there's still no definitive date for when defence spending will actually hit 3% of GDP, which is, of course, the NATO target, leading many to ask, has the outgoing Prime Minister's plan left Britain exposed to Russian threats?
Meanwhile, the Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood's plans as banning migrants from being housed in new builds after it was revealed that a group of asylum seekers were set to move into brand new homes worth £250,000 each.
Halfway into the year and small boat crossings are down, but by how much? We're going to be bringing you the very latest on the Channel crossings crisis.
Prince William takes aim at what he calls the system as part of his mission to end homelessness.
Homelessness is not an individual failure. It is a systemic failure. And if systems can help create the problem, systems can help prevent it.
In other royal news, we're going to be discussing this unexpected meeting between Queen Camilla and J.K. Rowling.
A crisis for the Coast Guard. The decision to stop paying volunteers for call-outs is causing concern among seaside communities. We're speaking to a heroic volunteer who says this could compromise safety on our coastline.
The Battle of the Somme was one of the bloodiest and most devastating military campaigns in human history. Today, we are paying tribute to the war dead, 110 years on.
And sport, so you ready for it this afternoon? England play Congo at 5 p.m. for a place in the last 16 of the World Cup. Meanwhile, Kylian Mbappe scores 2 more goals as France demolish the Swedes. And could Jurgen Klopp be the next Germany manager?
A fine start for many of us this morning, but rain is on the way for some, while sunshine will remain for others. Full details in the forecast coming up soon.
Good morning, it's just gone 6 o'clock. I'm Ellie Costello.
And I'm Christopher Hope, and this is GB News Breakfast.
Well, we had a wonderful night last night, didn't we?
We did, and here's a clue. Here's a flag. It's the American flag. Paul?
Wow, I'm just like completely stunned by the both
What
of
would
you.
you like to say, Coity?
I don't really know. I feel like I'm in watching
accessories?
Sesame Street or something. It's, look at this.
So we went to a party last night, me and Ellie. Look, there you are. It's called the Independence Day at Winfield House. It was the Grand Jubilee, the celebration of America's 250th anniversary of leaving our empire, the British Empire.
Yeah.
In a sense, it's America's. There's a picture of us.
Last night, yeah, so it was at the
Catherine
US Ambassador's
Forster.
house, which is in Regent's Park, and there were 5,000 people there. And it can only be described as a festival. It was amazing. So that's Winfield House behind you.
Yes.
And then there was a big stage, wasn't there?
There's Jubes. She was there.
Yeah, Jubes was there.
Were you the
on
only one in the
show.
hat there, Chris?
Yes.
Everybody's there. You're the only one with this hat on.
Well, they gave them out.
Well, I'm glad you said you should have done.
Marching bands,
Marching band. They were from Arkansas, weren't they? My favourite bit was that because it was like a festival, there were little huts, food huts, and it was all of the best American cuisine.
Oh,
so there
really?
was Wendy's, there was Domino's, there was mac and cheese.
Did you fill your boots? Did you have a bit of everything?
Yeah, we were just hopping along each food tent, weren't we?
And you've got to eat because there's lots of cocktails. I was not drinking last night.
I did
very careful.
How are you both feeling today? Because, I mean, the thing is, you don't want this on a school night, do you?
Well, we were very good. It got to 9:20, didn't it, Christopher?
Yes.
And I said, it's time to leave.
Yes.
Well done.
So we should say Saturday, the 4th of July, is 250 years of America being independent. It's their Brexit.
Are you keeping the hat on, by the way, for the whole show?
Yeah, no, take it off.
It's throwing me.
Chris had it on all of last night.
It is their Brexit, and I've interviewed the US ambassador, and that airs on Saturday morning on the 4th of July.
Oh, fantastic.
So I thought we should mark it. I mean, it's a big week. It's a big week for them.
And you had a good chat with him?
Yes, we had, yeah. And,
right. So we can look forward to that on Saturday.
Exactly.
Perfect. Right, I will remove these.
Did you bring me anything back at all?
You could share these.
Oh,
yes, you put those on for your sport.
Thank you so much, Sam.
If you're listening on the radio, we have American accessories, so you can watch that online. It's worth watching.
Now, to our top story, Andy Burnham's defence dilemma. To tax or to cut spending?
Well, that's the question, because the Prime Minister in meeting is going to have to answer it after Sir Keir Starmer's defence investment plan, or the DIP, left a gap of nearly £5 billion. That black hole that we hear so much about, they now have one of their own. That will need to be raised in the next budget.
Sir Keir announced a total increase of £15 billion to our defence budget, but on the matter of the missing £5 billion, he admitted there's no easy way to raise the money.
Hard truth is, there are no easy answers. But the settlement I'm setting out today is the right choice for the country. It delivers the decisive action we need on defence in a way that is within our fiscal rules and that will not take resources away from day-to-day spending on frontline services like health and education. Instead, it is funded by reallocating spending from across government departments.
Well, top military voices and senior Labour MPs have already criticised the plan that came out. Hamish Falconer, the Minister for the Middle East and North Africa, warned against cancelling road-building projects in his constituency in order to boost defence.
And the former Defence Secretary himself, John Healey, took to Twitter to aim criticism at the government's failure to commit to spending 3% of our gross domestic product on defence by 2030, which is NATO's demand of NATO countries.
Well, let's speak now to commissioning editor and writer-at-large for The Spectator, Tali Fraser, who joins us now. Morning to you, Tali.
Morning.
What a parting shot from Sir Keir Starmer to Andy Burnham.
I mean, there was a call, The Guardian, I think, were the first people to report this. There was a call that Andy Burnham had before the Defence Investment Plan was published to basically get a briefing of, what he should be expecting, seeing as he's going to have to be the one seeing this through. And the omission, huge omission, was that he was going to have to find £4.7 billion for next autumn on how to carry this defence investment plan through. It's bonkers.
Well, Tali, a friend of Andy Burnham told me for GB News yesterday that the DIP has been settled. It's important for confidence in the defence industry and preparedness that the investments are delivered, and Andy Burnham recognises the rising demands on defence. Is that the case? Because if we look at today's front pages, look at the Telegraph, Starmer leaves £5 billion defence black hole. Do you think Andy Burnham might be regretting supporting the DIP yesterday, given what's in it?
I think he will have been absolutely astonished to have had the conversation that he had with Number 10, and then to get to the moment where he actually reads it and finds out that he's got to figure this out.
Yeah.
And to figure an issue like that out and find £4.7 billion with a Labour Party who doesn't want to see any cuts to anything is going to be unbelievably difficult for him to manage.
How do you think Andy Burnham will be reacting to this? Because the paper's reporting that he was aware of the dip, wasn't made aware of this black hole. That's a pretty large thing to leave out.
Yeah, it's a huge omission. I don't know if you remember when it was COVID, and he was Mayor of Manchester, and he did a press conference where he was sort of finding things out live, finding COVID restrictions for Manchester out live. Yeah. And there was a reaction image of one of his advisors showing him on his phone what was happening. And it's now become a meme of Andy Burnham looking at his phone, all perplexed. I think that's exactly how he would have looked yesterday as well.
What do you make of Hamish Falconer, who's a junior Foreign Office Minister, but also an MP, saying, don't cut a road in my constituency to pay for defence? I mean, this government is fraying at the edges in terms of discipline, and we're looking on screen now at the note put on X yesterday. This is aimed directly at his own government here, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, ministers now in sort of all but name, because it's just a free-for-all, effectively.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a defence and a Foreign Office Minister now coming out and criticising the DIP for road cuts. You also have, there was a Labour mayor in the North East, I think, basically making the same point. And she requested for them to be treated like grown-ups.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they can handle being treated like grown-ups.
The language, sorry, Ellie, the language on that letter suggests to me it's not a settled dip. He's saying, I will raise this after the leadership contest with the new leader. That means you're not going to cut the roads plan in where I'm sitting.
Well, this is the thing. Andy Burnham is going to have a lot to take on as soon as he actually starts as Prime Minister, Labour leader, because all of these, I mean, not just backbenchers, but meant to be ministers, are openly criticising the government for plans that will affect their local areas. And you've got to do that, fill a dip. I mean, there was a Tory MP who to me called it the Defence Imaginary Plan, because it's just not all there yet.
Another Tory today saying it's delayed action poison pill. It's going to be a really tough decision, isn't it, for the next Chancellor, whomever that may be. Where do you think the money's going to come from? Because Andy Burnham's boxed himself in terms of these fiscal rules, which he says he's committed to.
I mean, the sort of obvious area that the Tories have suggested that they would do is, surprise, surprise, welfare cuts. Of course. It's the one thing that Labour was completely, or have been completely unable to do under Sir Keir Starmer. And I don't think Andy Burnham has a massive appetite, at least when it comes to budgets, to be looking at like mass cuts that would fill a hole this big.
And the absolute irony is £5 billion was the increase in benefits that Labour MPs wouldn't vote for in July last year. So this figure of £5 billion is always around.
What a perfect match. And what better way to display the problems in our country.
So serious, it'd be funny. I mean, it is a serious issue.
No. It really is. Tali, thank you very much. You're back with us in the next hour.
OK, let's get your weather update now with Aidan McGibbon.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the latest update from the Met Office. It's a fine start for many of us today. A lot of cloud around, the best of any brightness in the south, with the cloud turning thicker in the north later, leading to some persistent rain. Initially, we do have some showers through Wales, northern England, much of Scotland. These are mostly light and confined to the hills, but the cloud builds across Northern Ireland later, allowing for some rain to roll in. Ahead of that, some clear spells, some sunshine emerging through Wales, the south of England, and temperatures responding reasonably. We're into the low to mid-20s. Further north, high teens, low 20s. But it's going to turn breezy as the more persistent rain arrives into western Scotland and Northern Ireland through the evening. That rain eventually reaching parts of the north and east of Scotland, but it's light and patchy here. Shetland, dry until after dark. But here's the rain for the west of Scotland. Northern Ireland turning heavy and persistent as it moves in. Light and patchy rain for northern England, mostly over hills, but clear spells for the southern half of the UK. So this remarkable contrast developing overnight with a lot of wet and breezy weather in the north of the country, clear skies further south. A mild night for sleeping for many of us, with the cloud and the breeze keeping temperatures high. And then by the end of the night, cloud thickens across many parts of England and Wales to bring some dribs and drabs of rain in, mostly over western hills and coasts, first thing Thursday. Temperatures of 16 or 17 Celsius from dawn, and a lot of mist and murk in the south of the country before the cloud and the patchy, showery rain clears through the morning. So brightening skies for England and Wales after a bit of a grey start. But further north, we've got a fresh breeze coming in from the west, bringing some showers into the north of Scotland, but actually plenty of fine weather, and temperatures responding well once again. 26 Celsius in the south, 20 further north.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Now, the Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood has banned immigrants from being housed in new builds.
That's as it was revealed that 83 asylum seekers will soon be moved into newly built smart houses in the small and remote Shropshire village of Stoke Heath.
Well, that comes as we reach the halfway point in the year, of course. It's the 1st of July today, with small boat crossings falling by 13% compared to the previous 12 months.
But with more heatwaves promised, could we see a summer surge in channel crossings?
Well, let's speak now to Henry Bolton, OBE, who's borders expert and political advisor. Good to see you this morning, Henry. Let's start with Migrant Street, as it was being dubbed in the papers yesterday. There was a real outpour of frustration from our viewers yesterday with that front page of The Sun. 83 migrants being moved into new builds. Now, the Home Secretary is saying she's going to crack down on this. Do you welcome that move?
Yeah, the crackdown, absolutely I do. You know, if you speak to the French gendarmerie and the French government in the north of France, they will tell you that the main driver for the movement to the United Kingdom of illegal migrants across the Channel is the fact that we treat them so damn well over here. Now, you know, you can't blame these people for coming to the United Kingdom or trying to come to the United Kingdom when they're going to get benefits. They're going to get, you know, some of them are going to be accommodated in buildings like this. Every single migrant who is accommodated in this sort of accommodation and in some of these better hotels and so on, and has been, is on the phone to their mates over in the Channel or somewhere else in Europe, or even maybe back in Somalia or Sudan, and saying, you know what, this is a pretty good deal. And it pulls people further. And this is one of the reasons why the French don't want to cooperate, is because we persist in treating these people better than we treat our own people. And it's, you know, it's a bit of a no-brainer, and no-brainer really. And it's one of these things, you know, you've just covered the Defence Investment Plan. This is a government that quite clearly, as you sort of, basically the implication of what you were saying, is that this government doesn't take national security and defence seriously. This is the same. This is a government that does not take the mass immigration and the illegal immigration problem seriously, despite the British public having serious concerns.
Make of this, I mean, it looks like there's people here not being consulted about migrants moving in, and as you say, there's a long queue for people to get hold of social housing. This is not what people imagine social housing is for.
No, indeed, and you make the point effectively that you know, communities are being deeply impacted by this. It is changing the whole character of some of our smaller communities now. You know, in a sense, a hotel in a large city is a very small drop in the ocean. It impacts the people immediately around, but it's less noticeable. But when you start moving people into small rural communities, you have a massive impact, whether it's a former RAF base or whether it's a cul-de-sac of new build houses, whatever it may be. The impact on the British population is significant. I've said before. Sorry.
Well, on this particular settlement, I was talking to the MP yesterday, and it's a long way from any facilities. I think it's half-an-hour walk, bus journeys and like, and it's very difficult for the asylum seekers to be put there as well.
Yeah, indeed, and they're going to be bored. They're going to be restless. They're going to be young men. You know, I used to command young soldiers, and even disciplined soldiers, if they're bored, can get up to mischief. You know, it's going to happen, Chris. And you know, the whole policy is nuts. To me, we don't know who these people are. We can't vet them. We don't know what their background is. We know that many of them have come here on small boats, having committed heinous crimes abroad. We know that some of them have committed the most appalling crimes here in the United Kingdom. And here we are, putting them into rural communities where they're going to have nothing to do. You know, tell me that's not an invitation for disaster. Of course it is. The problem is the government, this government and the previous government, were not prepared to make, as they would say, the difficult decisions of securely detaining all of these people and doing the job properly.
OK, Henry Bolton, really good to get your perspective on things this morning. Thank you very much.
OK, now, today marks the 110th anniversary of the Battle of the Somme in the First World War, one of the most infamous days in UK military history.
Well, it began on the 1st of July in 1916. It went down in history as one of the deadliest battles in British military history, with a staggering 57,470 casualties on the first day alone.
Commemorations are rightly taking place across the country today to honour those fallen heroes for the great sacrifice they made to all of our futures.
Well, we're now joined by National Chairman of the Western Front, Rich Hughes, who's in the studio with us. Very good morning to you, Rich.
Good morning.
This is such an important day, isn't it?
It is, yes. We are living through what I call the death of history, where I think in our country today, there's very poor historical knowledge of how we've got to where we are. And the Battle of the Somme, as you rightly say, was one of the most deadly and most important battles in the history of this country. In many ways, it reshaped this country. Most families in this country, by the time you get back to their grandparents or the great-grandparents, can trace connections back into the Great War. And so many families were damaged and bereaved because of the Somme. And it's a battle that's very badly understood, because whilst popular history tends to focus on the first day. It was a 5-month battle with terrible, terrible casualties that exceed the number that you just gave. But it was a turning point in the Great War.
What are the lessons for today? I mean, obviously, it's history. It's over a century ago, but we are now facing increasing our defence spending. The threat from Russia is growing, and people think there could be an issue with Russia within a few years' time.
I think we would all say at the Western Front Association that if you look carefully, history will give you the lessons. Yep. They are there to be seen. We were not ready for the First World War. We were not ready for the Second World War. A history of unpreparedness is very much the story of this country. And I mean, you know, as you can hear from the political debate over the last couple of weeks, there's significant concern that we are not ready for the world as we find it now. And, you know, John Healey is giving pretty pessimistic predictions about what he thinks the Russians might be doing in the next 5 or 6 years. And we would be foolish not to listen to him, and we would be foolish not to listen to what history has got to teach us.
Well, talking about poor historical knowledge, do you think that it's really important that primary school, secondary school children now should be going to the Western Front, should be taking those trips to Belgium and to France and to see what their forefathers did for them?
I think absolutely, you're right. But I think that's part of a bigger issue. You don't want school kids going off on a school trip, going to the Somme, getting off a bus, getting back on an hour later, and 2 months later they've got no idea where they've been. I have a general concern about the way in which history is taught in this country. And I don't think children emerge from our school system with a proper knowledge of British history and how we got to where we are.
And the Somme of the First World War is why we wear the red poppy in November, isn't it? That's many may not know that, but that's why we wear them.
Indeed, and it's still the case if you go to the Somme now at particular times of the year. It's breathtakingly beautiful with all the poppies and you know the larks. It's you know, described in many Great War poems. It's a very, very beautiful area, and I think that makes it even more poignant because of the tragedy of what happened.
Because the churned up soil and the misery, and yet the poppies bloomed.
You can go there today and you can see hand grenades and shells still produced by the farmers, which are put on the side of the road. It's a battle which continues to live in the lives of the people who live out there.
Do you think the Somme has shaped Britain's identity?
Yes, it has. If we had longer, we could talk about all the social and cultural implications that flowed from the Somme battle, but it changed the shape of British society. Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can go back and walk in trenches. I've done it.
Have you?
Yeah, there are some actual trenches still there, aren't there? And you can, and it's quite. It does bring it right back to living history.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. I mean, I never fail to be moved when I go there.
It would be impossible not to be, wouldn't it? Rich Hughes, really good to talk to you this morning. Thank you so much.
My
such
pleasure.
An important anniversary, the 110th anniversary of the Somme. That's
right. Now you're watching GB News with Ellie and Christopher. It's time now for our daily reflection.
The GB News Daily Reflection.
Welcome to the Anglican parish of St Andrews, Wimbledon, where I serve as vicar. What am I actually here for? Do I have a purpose or calling? Many of us wrestle with that question from time to time, and society generally encourages us to look within for the answers. Look at our gifts, our passions, our desires. It's striking when Jesus Christ encountered his disciples after his Easter resurrection. He said, "As the Father has sent me, so do I send you." Those first disciples had a unique calling to be apostles of the risen Jesus. But it is the privilege of all Christian disciples to be sent ones of the sent one. For me, I had small seeds of a leading towards pastoral ministry even as early as 6 years old, which picked up at various points while I was growing up, though I never told a single soul. Then as a student, my pastor approached me and said, "Have you considered pastoral ministry? I think you should test it and see if this is what God might be calling you to." And that one conversation that summer afternoon led to a series of steps and opening doors, most of which were very unremarkable, by which God clarified his leading of my life. I think the amazing thing for all who follow Christ is it's not a question of am I called, but where am I being sent? Sent by the one who was sent from heaven to earth to seek and save the lost. Now that's an amazing calling.
So important to reflect today, isn't it? Especially on the 110th anniversary of the Somme.
Absolutely. Vital moment there in busy news cycle to remember the sacrifice of our forefathers.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, something totally different for you at 25 minutes past 6. Just time to tell you about the Great British Giveaway. It's a new one. Don't know if you've seen this one. It's a great prize, £60,000 in tax-free cash and a real gold bar.
A real gold bar?
Real gold
How
bar.
much is it worth, Ellie?
Worth over £5,000.
How do you know that?
And you could keep it and then it would be worth even more money.
Yes, that's
in
right. It's a
years'
good
time.
investment, gold,
Good investment.
we think. Although we're not advising to buy gold, we think it's a good investment.
May or may not be.
Any
Who knows?
asset's a good investment. Here's all the details you'll need to know for your chance to win.
We're celebrating a golden summer with a terrific two-part Great British Giveaway. First, you can win a sensational £60,000 in tax-free cash to spend however you like this year. What would you do with that? And that's not all, as you'll also win our most precious prize to date, a fine gold bar worth over £5,000. It's pure gold to own, trade or gift to a loved one and secure their financial future. So make sure you don't miss your chance to bank over £65,000 worth of prizes in our Golden Summer celebration. For a chance to win £60,000 in tax-free cash and a real gold bar, text GOLD to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entry starts at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge, or post your name and number to GB22 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 21st of August. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pooled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray, are you a human trafficker? Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Some people enjoy lazy Sunday mornings, but not me. What's the truth of the matter?
So that's a very live question. Would you support him if he waters down these plans?
Before the spin sets in, I'll be getting to the truth.
This is personal.
No soft questions, no easy answers.
It's one thing if the state has rules in this country. It's another thing whether the police and others actually police them.
Setting the agenda and holding those in power to account. You can't really blame her if the system is set up this way. You will not want to miss it, trust me. The Camilla Tominey Show, Sundays from 9:30, only on GB News.
Welcome back to Breakfast. It's 6:30. Now, the UK's seaside coast towns could be at risk as the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency is ending payments for volunteers.
That's right. Local Coast Guard volunteers will no longer receive £11 an hour, which isn't much, I think.
It's less than minimum wage, isn't it?
Given what they do. After a court rule, officers must be classified as workers in order to receive the payment.
Well, what is going on? Let's speak to two people who are strongly against the decision. Conservative MP for the Isle of Wight East, Joe Robertson, and one of the many heroic rescue officers, Martin Groom. Good morning to you both. Joe, let's start with you. Outline the issue for us if you can, because what is going on? Most people watch this morning and think, this sounds crazy.
So the issue is this, 3,000 men and women, heroes, up and down the country responding to 999 calls to keep our coastline safe. That's your Coast Guard rescue officers. Now, they're typically people with other jobs, day job, and when the call goes out, they drop everything and go running. To date, they have received a modest payment, £11 an hour, for the 100 hours training they have to do in the first place and for the time spent on calls, because if they're a plumber or an electrician and they're literally downing tools, they can't get paid for the hours they've missed. The Maritime Coast Guard Agency haven't been filling in their tax return, it seems, and have been classing these people as volunteers, even though they're paying them money, and even though they're called Coast Guard Rescue Officers. I mean, it's kind of in the name, isn't it? And their reaction to a court case that Martin won was to just remove pay from all of them without consultation, and we are where we are. They had recruitment issues in the first place. The big issue for me is we may not have a Coast Guard Rescue Service come September when some of these heroes say, I just can't justify it. I want to do it. I want to give back. I like giving back, but I just can't justify it.
And to you, Martin Groom, then, what's your life like? I mean, have you, as Joe describes there, you drop what you're doing and off you go to save lives, particularly now in the summer season when people get in trouble on beaches?
Yeah, thank God. It's important first to say I'm no longer in the Coast Guard Rescue Service. This is how the whole case came about, through my disciplinary and subsequent dismissal. But as a Coast Guard rescue officer, I did for 35 years. I started when I was 18. Yes, you would drop everything. Historically, we used to have pagers and then moved to mobile phone texting and alerting. And you would drop what you were doing. You would leave family birthdays. I've left weddings in the past, and you'd go off and do whatever rescue was needed, whether that was a search for a missing child or a cliff rescue or people in distress when they were brought in by the lifeboat. Whatever it was, we just drop everything and go. And there's 3,500 similar people around the country who give their time very willingly and currently are being treated shamelessly by the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency that just want to strip them of all the payment they receive and the workers' rights that now go with that.
That must have been really difficult for you, leaving the Coast Guard rescue.
Yeah, being a
Coast Guard after 35 years.
Yeah, being a Coast Guard isn't something you do; it's something you are. It was my way of life. I started when I was 18, and I left 35 years later. When you're in the service, your life is governed by the pager. Most of us live in small, local coastal communities, and when the pager goes, you go. And you live your life around that, and it's just the way life is, and was for many years, and did it willingly.
And it seems crazy, and when people ring 999 and ask for the service, if someone's struggling in the water, you or your former colleagues will come running, and not to be paid for that is crazy. The statement here from the MCA says that they'll be supporting your colleagues through this transition. It sounds like they're not going to go back. You're shaking your head, Joe Robertson. It sounds like the government is not going to back down on this.
I mean, there's been no consultation. I mean, what on earth does support mean when you haven't even engaged with these heroes? Look, this was a decision that was made as a knee-jerk reaction to a court case that, frankly, I don't think the MCA seems to understand. So the boss of the MCA had a meeting with MPs last week, and I found her attitude to be pretty brutal, to be quite honest. And as you say, it sounds like they're not going to back down. But, never say never. We've got a Prime Minister who said he wasn't going to walk out of number 10. He's walking out of number 10 in a couple of weeks. So there's always an opportunity to change the decision. And that's my call. My call is on the Maritime Minister. You don't have to do this. The changes are coming in September. Pause, engage. There are other routes through this, because at the end of the day, it's the government's problem, as long as along with the rest of us, if we don't have a service.
Oh, and could lives be at risk?
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, if there aren't the people within the service. The Coast Guard is a Category 1 responder, the same as the fire, the ambulance and police. You can phone 999 and you can ask for the Coast Guard. Recent polls within the Coast Guard Rescue Service have indicated that maybe up to 50% of current serving CROs will leave the service. And another 60-odd% who stay won't be able to commit to the time that they currently do. So absolutely lives are at risk. If these cuts go ahead by September, if you phone 999 and ask for the Coast Guard, you may not get somebody turning out to rescue you.
The bottom line, this is the 2020s. I mean, the government have been giving employee rights and additional rights to all their union friends. Actually, ironically, there's a union sitting behind this who's been helping in the case. These are people who are heroes. They respond and have been paid so little money. It's not about the money, but the government just need to show respect, because you can't have a service where you're calling a lot of people volunteers who are turning up to things. If they don't turn up, lives will be lost. I mean, I always go back to, it's in the name, Coast Guard Rescue Officer. That's not a volunteer by anyone.
That is vital work being done, isn't it? Joe and Martin, thank you so much for coming in to talk to us this morning on GB News Breakfast. I'm sure lots of you will have a view on this one. gbnews.com/you'll say. Let us know what you think. We'll share as many views as we can throughout the programme.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much for having us on.
Good, all the best to you. Don't go anywhere. Paul's got your sport next. But first, if you're travelling to work or at school, here's your traffic and travel update. And don't forget to stay with us, of course, on digital and on radio.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A78 northbound Barassi off-slip to the A759 is closed for maintenance. In Warwickshire, 3 M6 northbound lanes are shut due to a collision, causing congestion. On the M69 southbound in Leicestershire, a broken-down vehicle blocks one lane, causing delays. Portsmouth's A27 westbound faces 40-minute delays from a collision, while Devon's A38 westbound has 10-minute delays with lane closures. And on the trains, Great Northern services between Cambridge and Hitchin are disrupted, with ScotRail reporting delays between Inverness and Kyle of Lochalsh. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
I've been in Westminster for a long time, but I know that though power may be here, its effect on people's lives is across the whole of the country. We may be where rules are made, but it's where they're implemented that matters. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for forthright and frank discussion on where Britain has come from, where it's going, and where it will end up. That's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
no,
isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back,
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
and we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Welcome to Free Speech Nation with me, Josh Howard. This is the show where each week we see what's happening in the world of culture, current affairs and politics.
First we'll say, welcome to the UK.
And we're not afraid to use our free speech so that you can use yours.
It's not controversial in the slightest to anyone who hasn't lost their mind.
Free Speech Nation, Sunday nights at 7 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
As soon as it hits 11 and the headlines come in,
Late Edition brings you the breaking news from all the front pages.
because the news is going to happen.
So get a head start today.
Patrick Christie's tonight, Late Edition.
Alex Armstrong tonight, Late Edition. From 11 o'clock every night.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country. There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor. Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Do you trust what you're being told? Good, because neither do I.
Those are just facts.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and on my show, we'll expose the spin.
Well, I want to answer that, because you didn't let me last time, because you always speak over me.
The broken promises.
To deny that is denying the truth.
And the hypocrisy.
Needs to
stop.
You think we can allow?
Politics, policy, parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back. It's sports time. We've got a big game tonight.
Oh, it's the Doctor. It's Dr. Congo tonight. It's Dr. Congo.
Democratic Republic of Congo, you
Exactly, yes. DR Congo. So I want to get this correct there, Chris. So, you know, you give me a ruling on this then. So can we say Congo, just Congo, or do we have to DR Congo or Democratic Republic of Congo?
I think it's the full name. DR Congo means everyone's saying what does DR stand for?
Yeah. Dr. Congo.
Dr. Congo.
It's Dr. Congo. The Doctor will see you now. Anyway.
Are they a good team?
Well, they're not bad. I mean, we've just been having a little look at how they've done. They drew with Portugal. They lost to Colombia. They beat Uzbekistan. I mean, really? I mean,
yeah.
But they did qualify highest out of all the teams in third place. It's not going to be easy because we know what's going to happen. It's going to be a situation where they're probably going to sit back and then England are going to have to break them down. It's going to be one of those situations again.
And then what? Penalties after?
Don't say the word.
Can you imagine? But the good thing is that it is 5 o'clock this afternoon. So do make sure that your boss gives you the time to get away early.
What are people going to do? Leave the office at 3 or something?
Well, I think that would be the best thing, don't you?
Well, I think so.
3? I mean, suits us down to the ground, this one.
Watch GB News on their phone.
Yeah.
Or on the TV or vice versa, so they can watch Martin Daubney and Dubes and watch the game.
Can we not give a pass for this one? Is that possible? Is that allowed?
Well, they could always watch online, couldn't they?
There you go. That's the way. Well done.
Watch it back.
Let's hear from England manager Thomas Tuchel. This is what he had to say yesterday.
A team that didn't allow a lot of chances, didn't allow a lot of goals against teams like Colombia and Portugal. So that's basically what waits for us. We know where we are. We know that it's now the moment to find ways to win. It's the moment to dig in. It's the moment to be patient and to do what we do on highest level. And they have the capacity to make their life difficult for everyone. They did it to Portugal and Colombia. So the mindset is clear and we're ready for tomorrow.
OK, so I had said that I thought England were going to win the World Cup. I'll stick with it. Look, Chris is laughing.
We still think that.
We are going to think that. After seeing France yesterday.
I've tipped them, but I think the France are so good last night. That back heel from
Chops.
Mbappe. I know, I want England to win, and they are...
You've got to be patriotic.
Yeah.
You've got to be hopeful.
And realistic.
No?
I want us to win.
No, we don't have to be realistic. It's the World Cup England are playing.
Yeah.
France 3, Sweden 0, 2 more goals, like you say. Kylian Mbappe.
Wow.
He's one behind Messi on all-time World Cup list. He's aged 19 goals, and he's now one behind as well when it comes to goals. So I think he's drawn level with him at goals at this tournament for the Golden Boot.
Tournament, Paul.
So far.
I've got a viewing for you.
Yeah.
From John. Come on, Paul, you're showing your defeatism already.
Oh, no, I'm not.
I told you the other day that's why Tottenham finished 4th from the bottom. Ellie, have a word with him. So this is me having a word with you.
OK, have a word with me and shake your pen in my general direction. So France will now play Paraguay. Saturday at 10 o'clock. Norway beat Ivory Coast 2-1. 86th minute winner, Erling Haaland, and another star of the tournament so far. And the giant rowing thing. It's just getting crazy now, isn't it?
God.
Everybody's doing it. So we had yesterday after the game, Martin Odegaard, he gets the drum out, bangs the drum, the whole team on the floor doing the rowing. The whole crowd are all doing it as well. I've got some more rowing for you. Do you want to see a little more rowing?
Please.
OK, let's go to Oslo, and this is what happened last night in Oslo in the fan park. Have a look at this. There's a lot of this going on. Oh, no, this is outside the fan park. Look, there we are. How many do you reckon there is?
No.
It's got to be...
Oh, thousands.
1 million people there.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Here we go. There goes the rowing.
Oh, that's
See, there we are. That's a nice bit of rowing there. And now let's have a look at the stadium. So loads of Norwegians went to the stadium in Oslo, and they're all doing it there as well. And it was Iceland, wasn't it, about 8 years ago, that were doing the thunderclap thing, that is the old thunderclap. But now the rowing has overtaken that. And next, Norway, Sunday evening, 9 p.m, will be playing Brazil.
Oh, that'll be good.
What a ding-dong that's going to be.
That will be a ding-dong.
It's a good World Cup, isn't it?
It is a good World Cup.
Lots of noise around it going into it about the cost and everything else, and FIFA being FIFA, but actually... the football always wins, right?
It is, and now we're in the knockout. It's all getting very exciting. Clive Allen going to be with us in about an hour's time. He's going to be in the studio with us.
Quickly, come on, England.
Absolutely.
And it's coming home.
It is.
Come on.
Keir Starmer leaves Burnham a very unwelcome parting gift. All of the details on that next with Quentin Letts and Anna Firth.
But first, here's the forecast for some of our top European destinations. There they are. Give us a wave.
Ready to soak up that holiday sunshine?
Won't we need some cover?
No worries. All sorted.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Mixed weather across southern Europe at the moment. Quite a few showers for Italy, some thunderstorms, breezy through central parts of the Mediterranean, as well as the Canary Islands and Madeira. But an emerging hot spell is expected through Portugal and for south and west Spain. Temperatures of 40 Celsius for Lisbon. Unusually hot for this location. Here are the showers for Italy, but they ease during Friday and into the weekend.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Sunday with Michael Portillo from 11, only on GB News.
You've been to see Glengarry Glen Ross.
I have. So the movie was 92 and the play was 84, 85, something like David Mamet. It's all about men, or it's about men that are posturing being men. It's this idea of sort of toxic strutting, peacocking. However, the outrage, this most male of plays, has been cast with all women. Horrific. Taking away men's jobs right in front of us, Michael. It's on at the Old Vic, and we've got a cast of the ladies having a little word about it.
I think it might explode the play and open it up in really amazing ways, but we just don't know, and that is thrilling.
On first glance, you look at Glengarry and you think male, masculine world, male toxicity, but then if you strip that away and look at it from another lens, you say, no, this is about humans.
GB News, the People's Channel. Sunday with Michael Portillo from 11, only on GB News.
Joining me now is Chef Julie Walsh, who's the head of patisserie at Le Cordon Bleu. Thank you. How lovely to see you. You look marvellous in your chef's hat and your chef's jacket. Tell me about Le Cordon Bleu.
Le Cordon Bleu has been in operation for over 130 years. We had our 130-year anniversary last year. I'm from the campus in London, in Holborn, and we have a very wide-ranging curriculum with our students. I teach patisserie, so for me, I teach students to learn about things such as bakery, cakes, entremets, such as this one here, and showpieces. We do chocolate and sugar sculptures as well.
GB News, the People's Channel. This is GB News, Britain's news channel.
3 lines on my shirt,
never stop me dreaming.
Could this be England's biggest superfan? Benny Elcock has covered his York home in St George's flags in support of England ahead of the World Cup. Three Lions memorabilia are draped across his windows, garden gates and flower pots. Even the family's Yorkshire Terrier Reggie has his own outfit.
We've done it for years. And I'll just stick my Everton one up, because I'm a massive Everton fan. People just think I'm mad. Say, well, you've gone a bit mad, you've gone a bit overboard. I said, I don't care. I love it.
Football mad Benny can't wait for England's first match.
GB News, the People's Channel.
OK, joining us to look at the newspapers is parliamentary sketch writer for the Daily Mail, Quentin Letts, and the former Tory MP, Anna Firth. Welcome to you both. Anna, to you first. A big black hole awaits the new Prime Minister.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is Keir Starmer's parting shot, isn't it? I mean, for someone who's been pushed out of office for pretty much doing nothing, he would have thought he'd want to leave a legacy, a decent legacy. Instead, his parting shot is going to be smaller, cheaper warships and cuts across the whole of the MOD, according to the Telegraph, because he's not committing enough money to defence. No. Even though his own Secretary of State, previous Secretary of State for Defence, John Healey, resigned because he said we are in such a perilous position. So it's so unstatesmanlike. I'm amazed that his departure has been all about doing down his successor, not about leaving a decent legacy.
Yeah, he would say that's not the case. He would say he's bequeathing an investment plan to keep us safe. But what's amazing is you've got the Times, Telegraph and Guardian all with the same front page about a £5 billion black hole.
Well, exactly, and we've been waiting for this plan. It's been delayed and delayed and delayed, and now now it's published and it's actually not enough. Not even according to
we don't have a plan, do we? It's not funded.
Exactly.
Quentin, your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts about this is that you can blame Keir Starmer, but there's another person you can blame, which is Rachel Reeves, and she has been the Chancellor for the last 2 years. And she, yesterday, caught my eye. She was, it looked to me, in a terrible state. She was very unhappy, obviously, on the government front bench. And then intermittent beams of happiness. She's in a very peculiar mood. And she strikes me as the one that we should be blaming for this. The government came in, the first thing it did when it came in was complain about the Conservatives leaving a black hole, and now there's a certain irony that
and also
they're doing this.
That $5 billion is the same figure they wouldn't cut the benefits increase last July. $5 billion is a figure which seems to dog this government.
When a cat brings you in the morning the body of a dead mouse and leaves it on the floor, it is a sign of tribute. With politicians, it's slightly different behaviour. They do this in order to create difficulties for their successors.
But what's so odd is that it's a well-known thing that governments will leave traps for an incoming government of a different colour. I've never seen a Prime Minister actually trying to sabotage someone on his own side.
I'm not sure the money isn't there, Anna, and they need more money, whether it's sabotaging...
But hang on a minute. Rachel Reeves came in on a massive spending spree. There was no black hole, not supported by the Office of the Budget of Responsibility. And we're talking about £5 billion. It could be found if they'd done the right thing over welfare.
Quentin, were you there at the speech yesterday? Because you've had problems going to hear. It was Andy Burnham speaking.
Monday? No, I got barred, Christopher.
You were barred?
You were there. You were let in.
I was allowed in.
But then you weren't allowed to ask a question.
Correct, yes.
I was the Daily Mail sketch writer. I was not allowed in. And I don't know. I don't know why. Perhaps my adjectives
banned by Burnham. I think we may have a clip.
I don't know. I think my adjectives must have upset them. But it strikes me as a rather peculiar way to behave. If you're going to be a government, you've got to take questions. Yes. And much more to the point, if you're about to become Prime Minister unelected, it seems to me a good chance to explain your position and your policies in order to engage the demos.
Obviously, he hasn't responded yet to why he's not taking questions, but it is ironic.
Because he won't talk to us.
Anna, he was appointed, of course, as someone who's good at communications, but he's avoiding the press, isn't he? presidency, which is strange. He'll be the PM 2 weeks on Monday.
Well, I think it's pathetic, because one thing that a Prime Minister has got to do is be able to answer questions from the media and, of course, every Wednesday from the Leader of the Opposition. I bet Kemi Badenoch is absolutely relishing the prospect of standing opposite Burnham, because if he can't even answer questions now, he's not going to be able to answer questions in 3 weeks' time.
What's your opinion as to why he's not facing the press, Anna? Do you think it could be because he's been out of the Westminster bubble and not used to scrutiny for the last 10 years?
I think it's probably because of the reason he sort of has said himself, that he needs 3 months to work out what he's about. And Keir Starmer has bounced him into this.
Thank you both. We'll see you in the next hour. But here's your weather with Aidan McGibbon.
Today's outlook: cool, calm and completely horizontal. Boxed Aircon sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the latest update from the Met Office. It's a fine start for many of us today. A lot of cloud around, the best of any brightness in the south, with the cloud turning thicker in the north later, leading to some persistent rain. Initially, we do have some showers through Wales, northern England, much of Scotland. These are mostly light and confined to the hills, but the cloud builds across Northern Ireland later, allowing for some rain to roll in. Ahead of that, some clear spells, some sunshine emerging through Wales, the south of England, and temperatures responding reasonably. We're into the low to mid-20s. Further north, high teens, low 20s. But it's going to turn breezy as the more persistent rain arrives into western Scotland and Northern Ireland through the evening. That rain eventually reaching parts of the north and east of Scotland, but it's light and patchy here. Shetland, dry until after dark. But here's the rain for the west of Scotland. Northern Ireland turning heavy and persistent as it moves in. Light and patchy rain for northern England, mostly over hills, but clear spells for the southern half of the UK. So this remarkable contrast developing overnight with a lot of wet and breezy weather in the north of the country, clear skies further south. A mild night for sleeping for many of us, with the cloud and the breeze keeping temperatures high, and then by the end of the night, cloud thickens across many parts of England and Wales to bring some dribs and drabs of rain in, mostly over western hills and coasts first thing Thursday. Temperatures of 16 or 17 Celsius from dawn, and a lot of mist and murk in the south of the country before the cloud and the patchy, showery rain clears through the morning. So brightening skies for England and Wales after a bit of a grey start. But further north, we've got a fresh breeze coming in from the west, bringing some showers into the north of Scotland, but actually plenty of fine weather, and temperatures responding well once again. 26 Celsius in the south, 20 further north.
Today's outlook: cool, calm and completely horizontal. Boxed Aircon sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for making GB News Radio such a huge success. Whether you're in the car, on the go or listening at home, thank you for choosing us as your radio station.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A78 northbound Barrowsea off-slip to the A759 is closed for maintenance. The M6 northbound between junctions 3 and 4 in Warwickshire has 3 lanes closed due to a crash, with conditions expected between 11:45 and noon. In Portsmouth, the A27 westbound is partly blocked due to a collision, causing 40-minute delays. The A38 westbound in Devon between the A382 and the A384 has 1 lane closed, causing 10-minute delays. And on the trains, there is disruption on Great Northern and Thameslink services between Cambridge and Hitchin. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
We're celebrating a golden summer with a terrific 2-part Great British giveaway. First, you could win a sensational £60,000 in tax-free cash. And that's not all, as you'll also win our most precious prize to date, a fine gold bar worth over £5,000. For a chance to win, text GOLD to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entry start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB22 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 21st of August. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pulled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Good morning. The Prime Minister leaves a £5 billion black hole in the defence investment budget.
That's right. So Keir Starmer's parting gift to his probable successor, Andy Burnham, could force him to raise taxes in the next budget to plug the gap.
But the settlement I'm setting out today is the right choice for the country. It delivers the decisive action we need on defence in a way that is within our fiscal rules.
All that, and there's still no definitive date for when defence spending will hit 3% of GDP, which is, of course, the NATO target, leading many to ask, has the outgoing Prime Minister's plan left Britain exposed to Russian threats?
Elsewhere, the Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, has banned migrants from being housed in new builds after it was revealed that a group of asylum seekers were set to move into brand new homes in Shropshire worth £250,000.
Halfway into the year and small boat crossings are down, but by how much? We're going to be bringing you the latest on the Channel crossings crisis.
Elsewhere, Prince William takes aim at what he calls the system as part of his mission to end homelessness.
Homelessness is not an individual failure. It is a systemic failure. And if systems can help create the problem, systems can help prevent it.
We're also going to be discussing the unexpected meeting between Queen Camilla and J.K. Rowling.
It's a matter of days until the rollout of weight loss pills. We're speaking to Dr. Hilary Jones about why the tablets are not as effective as injections.
We're also getting a sneak peek this morning into Europe's only lightning lab. And even better, we're going to attempt to show you at home a live lightning bolt. Now, anything could happen. It really could. We're a bit concerned for our safety.
Yes.
That's going to happen at 9:15, apparently, so you don't want to miss that.
Because it may be our last broadcast.
It really could be.
It's like Hal from the 1970s, isn't it? I feel like Fred Dinage here. In sport, there's one for the kids. In sport, England play Congo at 5 p.m. for a place in the last 16 of the World Cup. Meanwhile, Kylian Mbappe scores 2 more goals as France demolish the Swedes. And Mexico remain unbeaten after beating Ecuador. And next, it could be England at the Azteca Stadium.
A fine start for many of us this morning, but rain is on the way for some, while sunshine will remain for others. Full details in the forecast coming up soon.
Good morning. It's just gone 7 o'clock. I'm Ellie Costello.
And I'm Christopher Hope, and this is GB News Breakfast.
We had a great night last night, didn't we, Christopher?
Yes, well, here's a clue. What is the Stars and Stripes, Ellie?
Spanish? Well, no, give me a clue.
Try again.
Wow.
The United States of America.
A little early, though, isn't it?
It is a bit, but do you know why? So we had the 250th anniversary of America last night at the American Ambassador's House in Regent's Park.
Winfield House.
Winfield House, very nice too.
Right.
But of course, they all have to be back in the States for the 4th of July.
Oh, I
So they
see. That's
celebrate
why.
The Brits early.
There we
We
are.
had the party last night. There we were.
I'm wearing my special tie and the hat. You look great, Ellie. And there's Catherine Forster, our colleague in the political team at GB News.
You look like Uncle Sam there. You are. You are the guy, aren't you? Look
You
at
wore
that.
that hat all night, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I think you have to.
Oh, yeah. There's Jubes.
There's Jubes.
Olivia Utley was there as
Photobombing
well.
up with Rebecca, our colleague and producer, Emil, the cameraman,
Yeah.
other colleagues in the background. Yeah, and it was a great day. This is their Brexit, let's not forget. This is America breaking free of the colonial Britain, GB, 250 years ago. Just think how good Brexit could be in 250 years.
Oh, well, that's something to think about, isn't it? The ambassador was saying last night, I actually quite liked it. He said, we, of course, left the United Kingdom when we became independent, but you are our closest ally, and we've managed to have this incredible relationship ever since. And it was lovely, wasn't it? We had we had the Union flag, and we had the flag of the United States of America everywhere. It was brilliant.
And more importantly, what was the food like?
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah?
Festival.
Hot dogs.
Burgers.
Mac and cheese.
Chips.
Wow.
And it's paid for by sponsors, so it's not paid for by the taxpayer of America.
Right.
Its sponsors pay for it. We had, Five Guys were there. Other
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels. I didn't
Coca-Cola.
drink at all.
You know, I'm noticing what Chris says and then what you say. Five Guys, Jack Daniels.
Great cocktail.
Well, I should say I've interviewed the American ambassador for breakfast on Saturday, which is July the 4th.
Right, great.
And you can see clips of the party and that interview on Saturday.
Fantastic stuff. So even at the parties, he doesn't stop working?
No, never stop.
Did you wear the hat for the interview as well?
I did.
Yeah, did you?
I didn't wear the hat, no.
OK.
So
I'm surprised at that.
I can stop waving this flag.
I know.
Yeah,
That flag
anyway, it was a great
making me
night,
feel a bit sick now with this flag's waving so much.
It was really fun.
There we are.
Really
Happy July the 4th to America.
Yes, exactly.
There we are.
Now, to our top story at 7:05. Andy Burnham's defence dilemma: to tax or cut spending?
That is a question for our future PM-to-be, Andy Burnham. We'll have to wait and see after he responds to Sir Keir Starmer's defence investment plan. That left a gap of nearly £5 billion. That, of course, was the increase in the welfare budget that Labour MPs couldn't approve last year. In this budget coming up in the autumn.
Well, Keir Starmer announced a total increase of £15 billion in the defence budget. But on the matter of the missing £5 billion, he admitted that there's no easy way to raise the money.
The hard truth is there are no easy answers. But the settlement I'm setting out today is the right choice for the country. It delivers the decisive action we need on defence in a way that is within our fiscal rules and that will not take resources away from day-to-day spending on frontline services like health and education. Instead, it is funded by reallocating spending from across government departments.
Well, top military voices and senior Labour MPs have already criticised the plan. Hamish Faulkner, the Minister for the Middle East and North Africa, warned against cancelling road-building projects in his constituency in order to boost defence.
That there is a government minister attacking his own government on Twitter. And, of course, the former Defence Secretary John Healey, who resigned over this a few weeks ago, he took aim at the government's failure to commit to spending 3% of our gross national product on defence by 2030, which is NATO's recommendation for NATO countries.
Of course. Well, let's speak now to commissioning editor and writer-at-large for The Spectator, Tali Fraser, who joins us again in the studio. Morning to you, Tali. And what a parting shot.
I know, what a palaver. I mean, Burnham now has to find £5 billion, and in a Labour Party who doesn't want to see any cuts.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? It means potential tax rises, which I'm sure the general public will love to hear. But that is now a headline in the Times. Burnham faces tax rises to pay for £5 billion black hole.
Charlie, it's worth showing this because it's so rare you get these headlines all agreeing. But when you've got the Times and Telegraph agreeing here, saying the same language, and The Guardian talking about a £5 billion hole to plug, there's a problem here for the government, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a huge problem here. And let's just be clear, so there's been this £15 billion increase that has a £5 billion missing black hole. So there you go. So really, you've only got 10 billion that's secured for right now. But what defence chiefs wanted was an extra 28 billion. So you're already massively behind on what was needed to fulfil the Strategic Defence Review, which the government had already published. And now you're way back on what defence officials, the MOD, really believe the country needs.
Well, what is the politics, do you think, here? So we know that Andy Burnham said yesterday it's a settled DIP, Defence Investment Plan. Is it now unsettled? Because the suggestion there from Hamish Falconer is that he's going to take this up with the next leader of the party, which is going to be Andy Burnham.
This is the thing. You have ministers now basically saying, no, I'm going to start lobbying our future Prime Minister to go back and change the Defence Investment Plan from the current Prime Minister, who I'm actually a minister for right now. Like, it's a total mess. So you have either current ministers criticising it, you have the former Defence Secretary criticising it, you have the former Armed Forces Minister criticising it. I think other than Dan Jarvis, who has secured an extra 1.5 billion than John Healey had secured, I think he's the only person who's probably pleased with this deal.
Yeah. But even he's admitted that it doesn't go far enough. He's conceded that there's not enough money there. How is this going to be plugged, this gap, do you think, Tali? Because Andy Burnham has boxed himself in. He says that he's committed to these fiscal rules. And as you said, the backbenchers, well, they don't like change, really.
No, they really don't like change. And as Chris said earlier, it's the exact amount of money that they tried to sort of deal with in the welfare budget and weren't able to. Like, it's a real trapping and a real problem of the Parliamentary Labour Party, that they sort of can't figure out their priorities and where they want to either spend money or cut money. And that just leaves taxes.
And also it's worth noting that you need to have the economy growing to pay for defence, and road widening is investing in capital projects, which they can borrow for, by the way, in the fiscal rules. That will encourage growth, economic growth. So they're cutting what could improve economic growth to pay for defence. I mean, this is a problem. And if you keep cutting away, you will not have an economy to support the defence budget.
It is a cyclical problem that Labour have faced basically since getting into government, where they claim that growth is one of their #1 priorities, as well as the defence of the nation. But yet they still just cannot work out how to get their parliamentary party to start doing that. And that's a real problem. And Burnham, God knows how he thinks he's going to find a way out of this.
OK, Tali, really good to get your thoughts on things this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tali. OK, now the Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, has banned migrants from being housed in new-build homes.
Well, that says it's been revealed that 83 asylum seekers will soon be moved into newly built smart houses in the small Shropshire village of Stoke Heath.
And it's very remote there, by the way. That's part of the concern locally. And that comes as we reach the halfway point in the year, with small boat crossings from northern France falling by 13% compared to the previous 12 months.
But with more heat waves promised, could we see a summer surge in channel crossings?
Let's speak to the founder of the Sanctuary Foundation, Chris Candia. Chris, great to see you here. Thank you for joining us. Looking at the figures, it looks like the government's approach to small boats is kind of starting to work.
Yes, there is really encouraging signs that the number of people who are making this dangerous crossing is going down. This is good news because no one wants to see people making money out of vulnerable people, the people traffickers and smugglers. They're nefarious people. It's great these numbers are going down. And my hope is that the numbers will go down even more once Shabana Mahmood's Safe and Legal Routes named community sponsorship comes into play in the autumn. That means that just like in the Ukraine scheme, when hardly any, I think one Ukrainian got in a small boat to come to the UK, most were able to claim asylum in Ukraine or in Poland and Romania and other safe surrounding countries, and then get a visa and then fly to the UK. I'm hoping that named community sponsorship will be another reason for the small boat crossings to come down, because we'd like to know who's coming, we'd like to check whether they're genuine refugees before they make that journey, and we don't want to see people smugglers and traffickers making money out of vulnerable people.
Outrage this week over the so-called migrant street. It was on the front page of the Sun newspaper yesterday. 83 asylum seekers being moved into these newly built smart homes in this tiny village. I think it was saying that the population of the village, once these asylum seekers are there, would go up by 35%. Huge concern there about what this would mean for the public services. Did you understand that level of concern and outrage?
I do understand that concern, particularly when there's a national housing crisis. People might feel that asylum seekers are being able to jump the queue ahead of themselves. We've got a really difficult situation here because if someone does come to the UK and claim asylum, and of those that are arriving in small boats, about 60% are given refugee status, so they have a genuine claim. But while we're waiting for that to be worked out, while the processing goes on, they're not allowed to work, and so they have to be housed somewhere. Are often put into motels and cheap hotels. No one thinks that's a good idea. The mass sites don't seem to work. And now these new builds, that's also a problem. So we do have an issue. And again, it's something that named community sponsorship might help with, because people can host refugees in their homes like we did for Ukraine. So I'm hoping this will be another way we can solve this accommodation crisis.
But, Chris, when we say cheap hotels, it's not very cheap, is it? It's £144 a night for migrants. It's £54,000 a year per migrant. That's a lot of money, and people see them being housed in new builds. It is outrageous that's happening when you've got families whose families may pay taxes here. They can't get onto the housing ladder. So Migration Watch UK is saying that a single year of migration grants made under Article 8 of the Private and Family Life Grants cost us £4.7 billion a year. The problem is the government is losing support for genuine cases of asylum because people think the people are taking the mickey out of us.
I do understand that. When I say cheap hotels, I mean the kind of hotels that you and I don't want to stay in. These hotel managers are making a lot of money by overcharging for pretty crummy accommodation.
Oh, are they? Okay.
I'm in a hotel today, and you know these aren't the kind of hotel rooms that the refugees are given to stay in. It is a lot of money, and we've been robbing our international development budget to pay for these hotels. So all sorts of problems. I think named community sponsorship will be part of the solution. Also, speeding up the asylum assessment process so people aren't in limbo for months and months, sometimes years, where they can't work and they have to rely on this kind of accommodation.
OK, Krish Kandaya, really good to see you this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Now, a Home Office spokesman says this. New homes should never house asylum seekers. Early this year, the Home Secretary introduced robust processes to ensure that new build sites like Stoke Heath can never be considered again.
Now, let's get a check on your weather with Aidan McGibbon.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the latest update from the Met Office. It's a fine start for many of us today. A lot of cloud around, the best of any brightness in the south, with the cloud turning thicker in the north later, leading to some persistent rain. Initially, we do have some showers through Wales, northern England, much of Scotland. These are mostly light and confined to the hills, but the cloud builds across Northern Ireland later, allowing for some rain to roll in. Ahead of that, some clear spells, some sunshine emerging through Wales, the south of England, and temperatures responding reasonably. We're into the low to mid-20s. Further north, high teens, low 20s. But it's going to turn breezy as the more persistent rain arrives into western Scotland and Northern Ireland through the evening. That rain eventually reaching parts of the north and east of Scotland, but it's light and patchy here. Shetland, dry until after dark. But here's the rain for the west of Scotland, Northern Ireland turning heavy and persistent as it moves in. Light and patchy rain for Northern England, mostly over hills, but clear spells for the southern half of the UK. So this remarkable contrast developing overnight with a lot of wet and breezy weather in the north of the country, clear skies further south. A mild night for sleeping for many of us, with the cloud and the breeze keeping temperatures high, and then by the end of the night, the cloud thickens across many parts of England and Wales to bring some dribs and drabs of rain in, mostly over western hills and coasts, first thing Thursday. Temperatures of 16 or 17 Celsius from dawn, and a lot of mist and murk in the south of the country before the cloud and the patchy showery rain clears through the morning. So brightening skies for England and Wales after a bit of a grey start. But further north, we've got a fresh breeze coming in from the west, bringing some showers into the north of Scotland, but actually plenty of fine weather, and temperatures responding well once again. 26 Celsius in the south, 20 further north.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
OK, let's have a look at the other stories coming into the newsroom.
And millions of households will pay more for gas and electricity from this month as Ofgem's new energy price cap takes effect. The cap for an average household is rising by 13% to an average of £1,862 a year. The regulator blames higher wholesale gas prices linked to the conflict in the Middle East.
But not the North Sea drilling, by the way, blamed there by them. Why is that? Now, judges at the Court of Appeal are reviewing the sentences of teenage boys who avoided jail after raping 2 girls in Hampshire. 2 15-year-olds were given non-custodial sentences after the attack in Fordingbridge. The judge said he wanted to avoid the criminalisation of children unnecessarily.
A new survey has found that fewer than half of drivers think they could pass the theory test if they took it today. The poll marks 30 years since the test was first introduced. Now, I'm not great at driving.
Yes.
The practical element of driving, can't really do it, but the theory, I was good at that.
Yes, I didn't have to pass one.
Did you not?
There was no theory test when I took my test.
There's quite a fun thing called hazard perception. You kind of put in a simulator, I don't know if it's the same now, and you just have to hit the button whenever you see potential danger, so that was great fun.
Yes, did you pass a lot?
I did, yeah.
You're doing that quite aggressively, that's quite good.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it, yeah.
You're quite on it.
Yeah, it's quite fun. Anyway, let's know what you think on that
When
one.
I passed my test back in 1988, you can drive anything.
Can you?
I could drive a lorry with a trailer. But
have you done that?
No, I wouldn't really risk it.
The option's always out there
for you. It's all there,
you.
yeah. I mean, I think I shouldn't be driving a lorry and a trailer.
Yeah, well, there's always time.
Always time. If I stop me do my job here, I can retrain. Still to come, we'll be speaking to the Shadow Home Secretary, Chris Philp, to get his thoughts on small boat crossings being down this year.
Yes, but first we're going to be debating whether the unemployed should be forced into military service or community service before they can claim benefits. That's next.
This is GB News with me and Ellie.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Brave. Are you a human trafficker? Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get this on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines. The smell of gasoline.
Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos. What I'm going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak. Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
So we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pearce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Do you trust what you're being told? Good, because neither do I.
Those are just facts.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and on my show, we'll expose the spin.
Well, I want to answer that, because you didn't let me last time, because you always speak over me.
The broken promises.
To deny that is denying the truth.
And the hypocrisy.
Needs to stop. You think we can allow?
Politics, policy, parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm
I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
No,
isn't it?
no,
Because the
because
failure is...
you're
the failure is...
deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back,
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
and we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Some people enjoy lazy Sunday mornings, but not me.
What's the truth of the matter? So that's a very live question. Would you support him if he waters down these plans?
Before the spin sets in, I'll be getting to the truth.
This is personal.
No soft questions, no easy answers.
It's one thing if the state has rules in this country. It's another thing whether the police and others actually police them.
Setting the agenda and holding those in power to account.
You can't really blame her if the system is set up this way. You will not want to miss it, trust me.
The Camilla Tominey Show, Sundays from 9:30, only on GB News.
To all of you who voted for GB News to win at the Trick Awards for the 4th year in a row.
The winner is GB News.
Thank you so much for voting for us. It's because of you that we're so proud to be the People's Channel, and it's because of you that we are Britain's news channel.
It's voted for the people who watch us.
Well, we've got the best viewers in the world, haven't we? The most loyal viewers.
Thank you.
Ah, brilliant, isn't it? 4 years of Trick.
Yeah, I know, and I'm a part-time breakfast presenter, but I'm very proud.
Very important part of the team.
To be in the team. I love it.
Yeah, GB News family, exactly. Now, you're part of the GB News family and you could win this great prize, £60,000 in tax-free cash.
Wow.
And a real gold bar.
Is that a real gold bar?
A real gold bar.
Flipping that.
Worth over £5,000 and could be worth even more if you held on to it for a few
That's
years.
gold you can keep or give to a loved one to secure their financial future. Who would you give it to?
Yeah, here are all of the details that you need for a chance to make it yours.
We're celebrating a golden summer with a terrific two-part Great British giveaway. First, you could win a sensational £60,000 in tax-free cash to spend however you like this year. What would you do with that? And that's not all, as you'll also win our most precious prize to date, a fine gold bar worth over £5,000. It's pure gold to own, trade or gift to a loved one and secure their financial future. So make sure you don't miss your chance to bank over £65,000 worth of prizes in our Golden Summer celebration. For a chance to win £60,000 in tax-free cash and a real gold bar, text GOLD to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entry starts at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge, or post your name and number to GB22 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 21st of August. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pulled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Yes, good luck. Great prize, isn't it?
Quite brilliant, and so jealous of you for going there. We can't enter, of course.
We can't.
We work here, but anyway. Moving on, enforcing stricter requirements for benefit claimants has been a contentious and highly debated topic for a number of years.
Yes, many arguing that forcing the unemployed to do military service or community service would benefit both them and wider societies. They're saying you should force people to do it.
And this morning, we're asking, should the unemployed be forced into the military or to do community service? Maybe it should even be an incentive in order to access benefits.
Well, to debate this morning, we're joined by Al Rush, a former RAF Regiment non-commissioned officer, and political strategist Pablo Ohana. Very good morning to you both. Al, let's start with you. Do you think that we should force the unemployed to either take part in military service or community service before they can access benefits?
My view has changed a little bit, I suppose. 15 years ago, if I was in the military and somebody told me that an unemployed person would be serving alongside me in some theatre operations, I would be stridently against it. My view has changed a little bit. I can see that there are benefits to it. I'm not sure whether they should be forced entirely. I think the issue is one of education, encouragement. I think also the issue is that we have got a recruitment scheme for the military that is not fit for purpose. We've had capita completely fail. So why should we now almost compel, coerce people who, let's face it, are more likely to be young, white, working class people from the north of England to form a disproportionately large of the military cohort which will go off to war. And we had that situation over 100 years ago in World War I. Why would we want to do that again? On the other hand, I can see that the military gives to many young, aimless and disincentivised people a sense of purpose. And we have had this before, let's not forget. In the 80s, we had the YTS scheme, where we had 5,500 people who were encouraged to join the military for 6 months, and over 60% of those decided to stay on. And the last one of those has just fallen off the peg, so to speak, and they enjoyed a 30, 35-year service in the Air Force. I served with many of them across the world, and they were fantastic. We just need to find the people. And if this is a way of finding the right people, fine. If it's a way of just getting cannon fodder, then no.
Yeah. Pablo Ohana, what do you make of this? The Tories fought the last election on an idea of a return to a form of national service, not just those on benefits. But what do the younger community, what younger people feel about being asked or required to serve their country?
Well, I actually think that a better idea is something that Sunak proposed, which is that everybody should be contributing. A few years ago, I moved to the US, and when I came back to the UK, I did start the process of joining the reserves because I felt that kind of sense of duty to my country, and I thought, actually, you know, I love it here. I think we're the greatest country, and I do want to give back. You know, I do a job I believe in, but I also want to, you know, give as much back to my country, to the country that gave me all my opportunities as much as possible. So I think that there is both an issue with recruitment in the army, and having gone through that process, I know that firsthand as well. But I think that we need to be really careful that the army doesn't kind of end up as a bit of a dumping ground for people, you know, that the job market can't place. It is a professional fighting force, and it deserves people who actually want to be there. And I think what we should be doing is finding a way to get people into either community service or the army, the reserves, whatever it is, that want to be there, and you know they can get behind the idea of building a sort of, you know, building on themselves, but also building on the idea of kind of commitment, discipline, and pride and love for your country. I think just kind of forcing people through that is difficult. We should probably be building something broader, making sure people have the right education. If they want to do an apprenticeship, whether they want to do an internship, if they go to university, there needs to be a variety of options for people to kind of progress their career and their education and get them off benefits into, you know, as I say, education, work, internships, army, community, whatever it is. But I think just kind of ramming everyone through this one funnel probably is not going to fix any of the issues.
Al, that's a great point, isn't it? We don't want our armed forces to become a dumping ground. It is our fighting force, and it needs to be fit to do so. So do you think then community service might be a good way of looking at this? And that has its own benefits, doesn't it? Not only for the community, which is being served, but also for the individual to give something back.
Absolutely. And I think that you hit the nail on the head just then when you said there has to be imbued within our young people a sense of purpose, a sense of identity, and the Americans do that so much better than us. Why don't we do it very well? Why do we have a younger generation that feels so dislocated and disenfranchised from society? I think it would be great. I mean, I was on Aberafan Beach last night, and I saw parents playing football with children of all ages and sizes and genders and sex, and they were having a great time. On the other hand, there was an RLNI rib going out to sea, and you would not want to have somebody who was coerced to be a crew member of that working alongside you going out in Gale Force 4. I think if I was a young infantry section commander, I would not want somebody who did not want to be there alongside me. But why not in the community?
Al, just quickly to Pablo. I mean, Pablo, we're seeing a report from Alan Milburn out later this year to get these 1 million young people aged 16 to 24, NEETs, not in employment or educational training, get them off that space into work. Is the army the answer for that, or is that oversimplistic?
I think it's oversimplistic. As I say, you've got to have people who want to be in that army, who want to protect Britain's interests, protect our allies as well. I think, as I say, kind of ramming everyone through that one funnel is just not really going to work. I think you need to kind of broaden all the options available, and also instill, you talked there about kind of whether you can have the army as an answer to this. What you need to be able to do is encourage people to want to do that, and they want to. That means people need to have pride and love for their country and really believe in that option if we want to use young people as a way to fix that gap in the army.
OK, Pablo, Al, really good to have this debate with you this morning. Fascinating views from both of you. Thank you very much. So many of you getting in touch on this one. Jack says, morning, Ellie and Chris. I joined the Marines at the age of 16. I can tell you it really straightened me out. I was a bit of a handful. I've gone on to become a CEO of a major UK business. This policy, if enacted, would really help with unemployment, crime, and build a capable generation that would have a massive and positive impact.
Wow, I think we should get Jack on the show.
I think we should, yeah. Also make them more resilient and help with the surge in mental health issues in our young people, which is about 10% of young people.
Brilliant.
Those were figures out this
Jack,
week.
get in touch, tell us your story. It sounds brilliant and important.
And another Jack's been in touch saying it's definitely a system to phase into work, and I think it would be really helpful for youngsters. You all sound like you're pretty much in favour of this. Join the army and be the best, somebody else says.
Well, good debate there.
Yeah, keep those views coming in.
OK. Next, we'll be speaking with the Shadow Home Secretary, Chris Philp, to get his thoughts on small boat crossings being down this year.
And we're also going to be speaking to the Minister for Defence Readiness, Luke Pollard, just after 9 o'clock. You won't want to miss that either. This is GB News Breakfast with Ellie and Chris.
Thank you, Britain, for the thousands of you who are becoming friends of GB News each and every week. Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A78 northbound Barassi off-slip to the A759 is closed. On the M60 southbound between the M1 and Junction 1, a broken-down vehicle has closed one lane. The M6 northbound between junctions 3 and 4 is mostly blocked with 3 lanes shut due to a collision. The A27 westbound in Portsmouth has 2 lanes closed, causing 40-minute delays. Disruptions continue on the M60 anti-clockwise between junctions 16 and 15 due to a broken-down vehicle. And on the trains, Great Northern and Thameslink services face delays between Cambridge and Hitchin. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world. Am I allowed to talk then? No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact that Trump made a good start, no.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions. But every Friday night at 9 p.m, you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
welcome back. We're going through the papers with Quentin Letts and Anna Firth. Morning, you two.
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning to you. Anna, let's have a look at the front page of the Telegraph this morning. Quite an interesting story here. Oxbridge diversity plans exclude the white working class.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is a terrible story, isn't it? This is, you know, our two top universities apparently discriminating against white working class families because they are prioritising their ethnicity over socio-economic backgrounds. And I personally think this is outrageous because if you want everyone to have an equal chance of going, then you've got to look at all backgrounds and and socio-economic background is plainly relevant. So,
but diversity is such a dishonest word, isn't it? Because the way that it's used these days, it doesn't mean proper diversity. It means social engineering to our edicts. Yeah. We, the elite. We're going to tell you what our society is going to look like. So it's not proper diversity, which is much more random and haphazard. And universities have now become these terrible factories of hard egalitarianism. Mm. Yeah. And I don't know what... I mean, I've got a sister who works at a university, and she concentrates on her studies, thank goodness. But there has become a terrible... political aspect has taken over from sheer scholarship. Something's gone wrong, really badly wrong with our universities.
There's a piece in the Telegraph, Quentin, from a guy, a person, I assume it's a man, I'm not sure which. I'm a straight working-class male with straight A's. That makes me a second-class citizen. That is so sad, staying here, forced to take a gap year because he couldn't get a grant. I mean, what's going on?
It doesn't matter if you're black and white. What really matters is the grey matter. The grey matter up there. Yeah. And that's what universities should be judging people.
Exactly.
Meritocracy.
Exactly. And we know that white working class students are one of the most underrepresented groups. In fact, I think there was a study done on it only this week.
Yeah, there's an inquiry out 2 days ago, Anna, that found that white working class children are failed by the education system.
And now we're seeing
once-in-a-lifetime reform.
And our feeble political
this should be led.
Our politicians wring their hands and say, why is reform, why Restore doing so well? They're doing well because of stories like this, because of the stupidity
but
of
Quentin,
the elite.
but Oxford and Cambridge should be setting an example. You know, they are worldwide supposed to emporiums of excellence. They should be setting an example and getting our white working class kids
Emporia.
in. Thank you.
Plural.
That too.
It does seem strange anyway. That is better news.
Emporia, really? Not emporiums.
Concerns about mushy peas. Quentin, you aware of this?
I am.
The headline
and I am worried, Christopher. There's a pea shortage, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold that thought, Quentin, because it's a great story and it got us talking in the break. We're going to be talking about it in the next hour, I promise. It's because we're speaking now to Conservative Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp. Very good morning to you, Mr Philp. Thanks for joining us on GB News Breakfast. Look, wanted to talk to you about small boat arrivals because we've got new stats showing that they're down by 13% compared to the previous 12 months. So the government's plan seems to be working. These numbers are going in the right direction.
Good morning. Well, I'm afraid to say the numbers in the first few months of this year were down to the weather in the Channel. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, when we've had good weather, as we've all seen, numbers have been flooding across. About 3,000 illegal immigrants have crossed in the last 3 weeks or so during the good weather. So I'm afraid to say the truth is this problem is far from being solved. And even so, about 10,000 have crossed this year already, which is far too high. The government's making some announcements, or has been making some announcements in the last few days, which are basically gimmicks, which tinker around the edges. They won't make any real difference. We need to stop this completely. 0 is the right number that should be crossing the Channel. 0 illegal immigrants. And the only way we're going to do that is by leaving the ECHR, leaving the Modern Slavery Treaty, and deporting every single illegal immigrant within a week of arrival, with no legal claims, no court hearings, no asylum claims. Illegal immigrants should not be able to claim asylum. And if we start deporting these illegal immigrants within a week of arrival back to their country of origin, or a safe third country like Rwanda, pretty quickly they're going to stop bothering to cross, because why would you leave France if you're going to wind up back in your home country or in Rwanda? So, but nothing the Labour government is proposing is anything like as tough as that. It's a little bit of tinkering around the edges, and I'm afraid to say the truth is, yet more gimmicks like their smash the gang gimmicks. Do you remember that? None of it's going to work.
The reason why they're coming, of course, is they're attracted here because they get put up in hotels, and now we're finding out in new build properties. And that's because of your government, we're told by Labour. They say that under the Tories, migrants were allowed to be put up in new build homes when, of course, UK families are waiting to move into those homes, so-called social housing. What do you say to that? It's all your fault.
Well, I mean, they've got a cheek. They've been in power for 2 years, and they're desperately trying to blame other people for their mistakes. I never saw reports like the one you're referring to. I'm sure your viewers have seen it already. It was on the front page of The Sun yesterday, where the Labour government is putting illegal immigrants up in brand new homes, which are worth £250,000 each. Brand new homes. Local young people in that area, I think it's in Shropshire, could only dream of affording or living in homes like that, and the government are giving them to illegal immigrants to live in, people who've entered the country illegally. I think that is absolutely disgraceful. That scheme should be immediately cancelled. The local MP, Mark Pritchard, has called for that already, local Conservative MP, and I certainly support that. This scheme to put them in brand new homes should be instantly cancelled. No way illegal immigrants should be put up there. What should happen is they should be deported. They should be kicked out. They've entered our country illegally. They've left France, which is a safe country. Nobody is fleeing from war in France. These trips are unnecessary, and the people should be deported straight away. No court case, no asylum hearing, no messing around, no modern slavery claim, no human rights claim, just be deported straight away. It's that simple.
Can I talk to you about defence? Because the front page of most of the papers this morning revealing that Sir Keir Starmer has left Andy Burnham, if he is to be the next Prime Minister of this country, with a £5 billion black hole when it comes to funding the DIP, the Defence Investment Plan. What's your response to that news? And how would the Tories fund defence? Because at the moment, we are a long way off from our 3% NATO commitment.
That's right. There is a £5 billion unfunded hole in these plans. So when the government announced yesterday the total amount of extra money, £5 billion of it, a third of it, was totally unfunded. They've got no idea at all where it's going to come from. So Keir Starmer has left a toxic legacy there. But even accounting for that, the amount of money they're giving is only about half of what the military need to fund our defence properly. There's barely any more money than John Healey, the former Defence Secretary, resigned over just 2 or 3 weeks ago. Barely any more money, and there is no plan to get to 3% of GDP on defence on any time frame. The Labour government, can't specify when they would do that. Now, you asked about the Conservative plans. We have a different approach, which is very simple. We are going to cut welfare spending, which is due to balloon by another £40 billion, £40 billion a year over the next few years. So we're going to cut welfare and use that money to spend on defence, and we would get to 3% of GDP by 2029. So a real contrast between the parties. Conservatives cut welfare in order to spend the money on defence. The Labour Party not funding defence properly. Their own former Defence Secretary John Healey has resigned because he said the government, the Starmer's plans would leave our country undefended because they're not prepared to cut welfare. They're addicted to handing out welfare payments to people who aren't working or pretending to be sick.
If I can interrupt very quickly, it's a bit rich of you to say Labour isn't funding defence properly, because you didn't either, did you? You built no new ships in your 14 years in power. This is a legacy created by the Tory government.
Well, look, I mean, we're under new leadership. I've set out what our plans are, cut welfare, fund defence. I think in fairness to the last government, they did things like equip those 2 aircraft carriers. I think we're the only serious European power with 2 proper, fully functioning aircraft carriers. I think the Italian aircraft carriers are not quite as good as ours. We equipped them with the F-35Bs. We commissioned the renewal of our nuclear deterrent, which keeps us safe in an uncertain world. But look, I'm looking to the future, and we've got a very clear plan. Cut welfare in order to properly fund the defence of our nation. We're the only party to have that credible plan.
Chris Phelps, thanks for being so generous with your time this morning on GB News Breakfast.
OK, coming up, we'll be looking ahead to the match tonight with Paul Coit. England versus the Congo, and footballing legend Clive Allen is here too.
Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
Yeah, Cameron, Miriam, it's certainly feeling hot here today, 30 degrees, and it's only going to get hotter, of course, across the country. Many people feeling the heat as well. Those red weather warnings for extreme heat in place, saying that this heat could even cause a risk to life, urging people to take precautions. But spare a thought for people working in this heat, particularly those in kitchens. We can't come to the beach without a fish and chip shop. This is the Modern World Fish and Chip Shop in Brighton, and Ibram runs it. Ibram, just how hot is it inside your kitchen today?
It's an absolute scorcher, actually. It's okay. We're just about coping. We're taking precautions. We reduced one fry from 2 fries. We're down to 1. There's not much sales in food at the moment. It's mostly people trying to keep hydrated. Waters, soft drinks, ice creams, beers.
GB News, the People's Channel. GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
And the reason why Alex's head is a little bit sore this morning is because we are Trick Award winners.
Yes.
Again. For the 4th year in a row. We're absolutely delighted, aren't we? We're buzzing with this.
We are. And, yeah, I need some more sleep.
Listen to that voice. You sound like Orson Welles.
Is that a good thing about it? Hey, everybody. Got a very
Alex went
sultry voice today.
Yeah, you sound good. You sound good.
Okay,
But
maybe.
you went for celebratory drinks last night, didn't you?
Yeah, you could put it that way.
Yeah.
You could put it celebratory
How's the
drinks.
head this morning?
Yeah, I think that the hangover's coming. Let's put it that way. Hangover is still due.
Oh, there you are. Look, there we
look.
are. GB News Breakfast winner. So it was in the news category yesterday, and we are absolutely delighted that you chose us because it is voted for by you.
GB News, the People's Channel. GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
Well, that is the question. Good morning to you both. It is very hot. Right now it's 25 degrees. Ordinarily, it might be this temperature about midday, but no, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 25 degrees and temperatures set to soar throughout the day into the mid-30s. If it gets higher than 35.1 degree today, then today will be the hottest day of the year. Many people forecasting that we could reach that threshold today. So that's one to look out for. But as you can see, many people keeping cool today. Somebody's here in the water. We've got people out to sea swimming as well, and many on the shoreline enjoying this hot weather, including John here I can speak to now. John, thanks for joining us this morning on GB News. Have you been in the sea yet? How are you keeping cool?
Yeah, I went in the sea. We were down about 7 o'clock this morning. Literally dived straight in.
GB News, the People's Channel.
We're back.
And it's time to go for the sport with our colleague, broadcaster Paul Coit.
That's very nice.
Welcome. You're our colleague still, yes, hello.
Thank you very much. It's a huge game tonight.
It is. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling not as confident as I was. At least Clive's giving me this look. Look, we're joined by former England striker, our great friend Clive Allen. Just come along to see us. Clive, honestly, you know I'm a nightmare when it comes to any games, when it comes to Spurs, when it comes to England. I'm just a huge worrier.
You were fine.
I
was a few days ago.
I think it's the last couple of games that I'm kind of like thinking, is it going to be the same again? What, Clive, tell it. Are you confident about us? Because I did say for a long time, I thought we were going to win the World Cup, and now I'm wobbling just a little bit.
I just can't understand your apprehension about a game that I think we're going to win comfortably. I really do. I think one or two performances have not been what we've expected. Great start to the competition. Then, as every team really, apart from France, has found, it's not going to be easy. There's difficult games. Tonight's will be an interesting game, but I think we have the ability to win it comfortably.
Here's a question for all of you. How many teams, do you think, how many countries since the World Cup began, so we're looking right back to 1930, how many have won in one tournament, won every single game? So going right the way through, so from the group stage to then winning the final.
5,
you think?
0.
You think 0, Chris? Clive?
I'm going to guess 1.
It's 4. There's 4 of them that have done it, that have actually done it. So
very good.
There's only, so I think at the moment we've got Argentina, I think there's Mexico as well, who we could well face.
Brazil.
That will be difficult.
Should we get through? No, because Brazil have drawn already, so they haven't won every game. So there's one other one at this year's tournament. So basically what I'm saying is that if you draw and you're not winning every game, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to go through and win the World Cup itself. And it will. And you are the hope always, Chris. Christopher Hope. Should we hear from Thomas Tuchel? This is what Thomas Tuchel had to say in the press conference yesterday.
A team that didn't allow a lot of chances, didn't allow a lot of goals against teams like Colombia and Portugal. So that's basically what waits for us. We know where we are. We know that it's now the moment to find ways to win. It's the moment to dig in. It's the moment to be patient and to do what we do on highest level. And they have the capacity to make their life difficult for everyone. They did it to Portugal and Colombia. So the mindset is clear, and we're ready for tomorrow.
I think the phrase is this low block that we keep. Can you explain, for those that don't understand, what a low block is? Because it's another one of those football phrases that England are coming across it. So what exactly does it mean?
Yeah, football terminology, it's parking the bus, putting as many players in across the 18-yard box as you can to make it very, very difficult to penetrate, to get through your defensive line, a low block. But I think with Jude Bellingham, with Harry Kane, Saka on the right, we have the opportunity and the ability to unlock Congo's defence. I really do.
So is this what we're going to expect Congo are going to do, though? Because it seems that way.
Yeah, I think a few teams have. And I think that's what you see as we go into this stage of the competition, that the teams that have maybe come through third place, they've arrived at the knockouts, they feel that that's the best way to play the game. Defend resolutely and play on the counter-attack. So there'll be a few teams that will adopt that ploy.
It's not football, though, is it, really? It's not.
Well, boring to watch.
It is, it really
It can be, yeah. Do you worry we've got the right team out there? No, is the right back place?
I think there's a few. Obviously, Thomas Tuchel has some difficult decisions. Yeah. He has a problem in the right back position. Jed Spence is probably the only natural right back. We'll start there, I feel, this evening. The one for me is on that left side, whether it's Rashford or whether it's Gordon. I would plump for Rashford, but I think Gordon might get the nod this evening.
We saw. There's so much is relying on Harry Kane and probably Jude Bellingham as well. Yeah. These are the two superstars.
Oh, yeah.
But to get anywhere, it's got to be a situation where everybody plays well. And at the moment, it kind of feels like, well, yeah, they're OK. Then it's everybody. It's got to be a machine, hasn't it? The whole team playing well together. Yeah, but momentum, I guess, we'll get that. But are we going to get that momentum?
Yeah, I think we will. And sometimes it's a position that's forced upon the manager, where someone's injured, someone comes in and does very well.
Jeff Hurst, 66.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we won it in 66.
You know, that's exactly it. That's exactly where we're going with this. So prediction tonight then. So Congo, and also 5 o'clock this afternoon. Hopefully everybody's going to be able to leave work early and get to see it. What do you think?
Everyone's thinking, do you leave work early or do you just go out with your workmates at 5 p.m. when you finish?
What are you going to do?
Well, I'll be at home, won't I?
Yeah. Chris?
I'll be home too, I think.
What about you?
Yeah, I think I will be, yeah.
Clive?
I'll be home.
Everyone's at home.
You know what? We'll all go to Clive's house.
You're welcome. To the pubs, we will. I think once you're past this stage, half time.
Forecast, I think England win 2-1.
2-1?
2-0.
Clive?
I'm going to go 3-0.
Yes.
I'm going 2-0, but I'm never going to be one of those that throws the beer up in the air, because what a waste of beer that is. If it's a World Cup final, we can do it. Anyway.
What about your ceiling in your house?
Absolutely. Yeah. More to talk, Clive, so if you can stay with us, we'll talk again in an hour, if that's OK.
Thanks, you two. Do stay with us. We're going to be talking about weight loss pills rather than jabs, and we're going to be speaking to the Defence Readiness Minister, Luke Pollard. Is he happy with the Defence Investment Plan? That's up next.
Thank you, Britain, for making GB News Radio such a huge success. Whether you're in the car, on the go, or listening at home, thank you for choosing us as your radio station.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A78 northbound Barrowsey off-slip to the A759 is still closed. There's congestion on the A470 southbound between Nantgarve and Corridon. On the M6 northbound in Warwickshire, a collision has closed 3 lanes, and there are up to 40-minute delays on the M4 eastbound in Slough. A traffic accident on the A27 westbound in Portsmouth has closed 2 lanes. On the A38 westbound in Devon, 1 lane remains closed. And on the trains, there is disruption on Great Northern services between Cambridge and Hitchin, and on the London Overground between Stratford and Clapham Junction. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
It's a Great British Giveaway Golden Summer Celebration. Your chance to win 2 fantastic prizes. There's an incredible £60,000 in tax-free cash. Plus, you'll also get your hands on a fine gold bar worth over £5,000. For a chance to win £60,000 in tax-free cash and a real gold bar, text GOLD to 63225. 1 entry costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entry start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB22 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 21st of August. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pooled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand.
At the stroke of midnight, the news doesn't stop, and neither do we.
Day in, day out. Forget stuffy late night TV shows. We're giving you a front row ticket to the centre of the political universe.
Because breaking news doesn't wait for the morning.
And neither do we. Join us for one of the most controversial and volatile times of politics in human history.
A very big story.
Big story over here.
You won't get this anywhere else. The Late Show live at midnight, every night.
Only on GB News.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get this on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What we're going to do now, they are throwing things up the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Good morning. Sir Keir Starmer leaves a £5 billion black hole in his defence investment budget.
The PM's parting gift to the PM-to-be, Andy Burnham, could force him to raise taxes in the next budget to plug the funding gap. Earlier on our show, the Shadow Home Secretary, Chris Philp, had some choice words for the government.
But the settlement I'm setting out today is the right choice for the country. It delivers the decisive action we need on defence in a way that is within our fiscal rules.
Well, all that, and there's still no definitive date for when defence spending will hit 3% of GDP, which is, of course, the NATO target, leading many to ask, has the outgoing Prime Minister's plan left Britain exposed to Russian threats?
And the Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, there she is, bans migrants from being housed in new builds after it was revealed that a group of asylum seekers were set to move into brand new homes worth £250,000.
Halfway into the year and small boat crossings are down, but by how much? We're going to be bringing the latest on the Channel crossings crisis.
Millions of households will pay more for gas and electricity from today as Ofgem's new energy price cap takes effect, pushing bills up by 13%.
Prince William takes aim at what he calls the system as part of his mission to end homelessness.
Homelessness is not an individual failure. It is a systemic failure. And if systems can help create the problem, systems can help prevent it.
In other royal news, we're also going to be discussing the unexpected meeting between 2 queens, the Queen Camilla and the Queen of Children's Literature, J.K. Rowling, with not everyone being happy about it.
It's a matter of days now until the rollout of weight loss pills. We're going to be speaking to Dr. Hilary Jones about why the tablets are not as effective as the injections.
And we're getting a sneak peek into Europe's only lightning lab here at GB News. And even better, we're going to be showing you at home a live lightning bolt just there. You won't want to miss it. That's after 9 a.m. It could be our last broadcast.
It really could. I think anything really could happen. We are slightly concerned.
It's more exciting than the football this is. It's like watching the Thunderbirds. In sport, England play DR Congo at 5 p.m. for a place in the last 16 of the World Cup. You know that. Meanwhile, Kylian Mbappe scores 2 more goals as France demolish the Swedes. And Mexico remain unbeaten after beating Ecuador. And it could be England next at the Azteca Stadium on Monday.
A fine start for many of us this morning, but rain is on the way for some, while sunshine will remain for others. Full details in the forecast coming up soon.
Good morning, it's just gone 8 o'clock. I'm Ellie Costello.
And I'm Christopher Hope. And this is, of course, GB News Breakfast.
So you do want to stay tuned just after 9 o'clock this morning. Not only are we speaking to Luke Pollard, who's the Minister for Defence Readiness, there's quite a few relevant questions to ask him this morning, but also we're going to be doing a live studio demonstration.
Could we combine the two, maybe? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Here you go.
Potentially. Now, that would be good telly. Of a lightning bolt live in the studio. I am slightly concerned.
I'm really concerned.
I think anything could happen. We've been told that there can be no metal near this demonstration for obvious purposes, and we all have to sit at least 3 metres back.
And we are at least that back, and it may blow our mics. We're doing this because, of course, a team from Cardiff University have a lightning laboratory. Andrew Pearce, you're with us. Are you a lightning thief? Are you called Percy Jackson?
No. Okay. But I'm a bolt of inspiration, I think.
Oh, now that you are, Mr. Pearce. Are you
I think Puff, Wind and Thunder is probably more you than the lightning, don't you think, Andrew?
Isn't that the England football team?
It could well be.
But is it right that if we do let off lightning here, do we also let off thunder in here as well? Will thunder happen?
Yeah, we have to count how many miles away it is.
Well, we're like feet
It's right here.
So it'll just happen at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
Right. And also, I'm wearing purely man-made fibres. There's a chance that I may catch fire at some
We're all
point.
going to set alight. I'm concerned my hair's going to singe.
Yeah.
So hold on, seriously though, what? So that fires off. There's lightning's going to hit that.
There's going to be a lightning bolt over there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
If Cordy catches fire, what should we do, Ellie?
Well, we'll put it out.
OK, fine.
Thank you, Ellie. I know Andrew's not going to say the same thing, but I appreciate that.
I'll take over the football commentary, don't worry.
How are you feeling about tonight, Andrew? You watching the game?
I'll probably be busy at 5 o'clock, actually.
Now,
but I do hope they'll win.
You are such a fan. You always watch it. You do.
I've not seen a single match of this World Cup. Not one.
I don't believe
I was thrilled that Germany lost. Why is that? I know I did, but I was. You told me the news. I was delighted.
Will you get on board with the England team? Do you think you just need to get past the group stages?
Yeah. The group stage boring. I mean, we should beat this Congo team, shouldn't we?
We should
easily.
do. Yeah, we should do.
At what point will you wear a scarf or an England football shirt?
If we get in the semis.
OK.
Yeah.
Will you wear an England shirt if we get to the semi-final?
Yes.
You said it.
And then full kit if we get to the final?
Yes.
Pink promise, live on air. And you'll wear the full kit.
I will, if we get to the final.
All right.
And I hope we do get to the final.
And if we win the final, I dread to think what you're going to do.
You have to buy me a drink.
Not going to happen until it happens. OK.
But it is coming home.
It is. Now, to our top story, Andy Burnham's defence dilemma. Already, not even Prime Minister yet. To tax or to cut spending, Ellie?
Well, that is the question the Prime Minister in waiting will have to answer after Sir Keir Starmer's defence investment plan left a gap, a black hole of nearly £5 billion that will need to be raised in the next budget.
Sir Keir announced a total increase of £15 billion to the defence budget annually. But on the matter of the missing £5 billion of that figure, he admitted there's no easy way to raise money.
The hard truth is there are no easy answers. But the settlement I'm setting out today is the right choice for the country. It delivers the decisive action we need on defence in a way that is within our fiscal rules and that will not take resources away from day-to-day spending on frontline services like health and education. Instead, it is funded by reallocating spending from across government departments.
Well, top military voices and senior Labour MPs have already criticised the plan. Hamish Faulkner, take a look at this. The Minister for the Middle East and North Africa, so a government minister, has actually warned against cancelling road building projects in his constituency in order to boost defence.
That's right, and the former Defence Secretary John Healey, remember him resigning a few weeks ago? He took aim at his government's failure to commit to spending 3% of our gross domestic product on defence by 2030. That, of course, is NATO's recommendation for member countries.
Well, meanwhile, this is what the Conservative Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp told us earlier on the programme.
When the government announced yesterday the total amount of extra money, £5 billion of it, a third of it, was totally unfunded. They've got no idea at all where it's going to come from. So Keir Starmer has left a toxic legacy there.
OK, that's, of course, Chris Philp earlier. Andrew Pearce joined us now, our colleague. Andrew Pearce, look at these papers here. This is the Guardian, Telegraph, and Ellie's got the Times. Yeah. They're all saying the same thing. I mean, what on earth is Keir Starmer bequeathing to his successor?
Exactly. And what I thought was extraordinary, having the Chancellor of the Exchequer there with him yesterday, when they got into power, this lot, they said the Tories had left a funding black hole. Remember, they talked about it again and again and again. 22 billion, here's 5 billion. And the Prime Minister suggested that there's no easy choices. Yes, there is. There's a £5 billion black hole. Last year, there was a revolt in the Labour Party over plans to cut spending on personal independent payments, but welfare cuts of £5 billion. That's where the £5 billion was. Easy hanging fruit, but he was frit. He couldn't take on his backbenchers because he'd lost control. And I still think, Chris, that's when his authority in the Labour Party, in the government, disintegrated, when he was seen off by the rebels.
Well, what's Andy Burnham going to do then? Because it's the same backbenchers, that won't want to see welfare cuts. And he's also boxed himself into a corner, hasn't he? Saying that he agrees to the fiscal and commits to them.
And he's also said, according to Chris's sources yesterday, said he agrees with the defence plan.
Well, what we were told by his team, the DIP is settled.
Yeah.
But now it's not settled. You've got Hamish Faulkner, who's a member of the government, saying, I'll talk to the winner of the Labour leadership contest, Andy Burnham, about this. That means they're going to reopen this defence investment plan as soon as it's been closed.
This is extraordinary for a serving minister to be standing up in the Commons to attack this carefully constructed...
He's doing it as an MP, Andrew.
He is.
That's why he's doing it.
He's referring to it... Because basically, the big road bypass has been cancelled in his constituency, so he's worried about votes. He's only been a minister 5 minutes. His dad, of course, is Charlie Faulkner, the former Lord Chancellor. He's Labour royalty. But this is a sign of where the problems Labour have got.
I should say, we're talking to Luke Pollard within the hour, and now he's talking elsewhere this morning. Unbelievably, he's saying this elsewhere, and we'll get to him when he comes to us, that the breakdown of the 15 billion, the first time they saw that in the Defence Department was when it was published yesterday by the Treasury. That's unbelievable.
The Treasury call all the shots, and this is what Burnham's going to say. In number 10 of the North, the Treasury will be emasculated and weakened, and the decisions will be taken away from the Treasury.
How do you think this is going down with Andy Burnham? Because we've also got the papers saying this morning that Andy Burnham was briefed on the dip, but wasn't told about this £5 billion black hole.
I don't think he saw the pattern at all.
Well, and nor did the MOD, according to Luke Pollard.
Yeah.
So it looks like Rachel Reeves kept it all very quiet.
Yeah, and there was a chance on her swan song yesterday, advertising to keep her job. She is dead woman walking. She is the mistress of all of this. She was the one who wouldn't, in the end, on the benefit cuts. He's got a lot on his in-trade. And the other story that I think is really interesting, a letter is emerging with women MPs saying to Andy Burnham his cabinet must be at least 50% women. At least. Now, currently, it's 20. There's 22, and I think there's 12, 10 more men. And, of course, we know 2 women ran his campaign. They called them the Queens of the North, Annalise Midgley and Lou Haig. She was kicked out of the cabinet because over a fraud to do with her phone.
Ellie, I mean, obviously I'm a man, you're a woman, Andrew's a man. I think it's just tokenistic.
Yes.
We'll get the right people in. If you look at Keir Starmer, to be fair to him, 3 of the top jobs in the government have gone to women. Yvette Cooper, Rachel Reeves, Shabana Mahmood.
Home Secretary,
But that's pretty good.
It should just go to people who are going to do the best job, right?
That's why I do my job.
It should be a meritocracy.
We are the best people.
There is an irony in the Labour Party talking about they want more women in the cabinet, where they've never, ever had a woman leader.
Well, it's a great point, Andrew.
In 126 years. And is he going? When he sacks Rachel Reeves, does he have to put a woman in that job as Chancellor?
Well, there's no female names being floated around for Chancellor.
Someone said to me, Yvette Cooper. She
Would
was
she want
a
it?
Treasury Minister. Oh, yeah.
Can I say 2 words back to you?
Yeah.
Pat McFadden.
That's where I'm going.
I really think Pat
that's where
McFadden
Chris
hit balance
thinks, I mean.
tickets.
Do a Scott.
But Wes
And
Streeting
we'll cut benefits, probably.
Yeah.
Wes Streeting must have made a deal. Must have cut a deal.
He's
to
trying
go
to
away so quietly.
He's not getting the Treasury, and he didn't get 81 names, which is why he was incapable of challenging Andy Burnham. He hasn't got the heft to cause any.
If you're Andy
problems
Burnham, you want to have somebody who doesn't want your job.
Yes, right.
And that's McFadden. To my mind.
Absolutely. And I think he worked in the Treasury a long time ago.
Yeah.
He's a former Downing Street advisor. He's a safe pair of hands.
Someone else who worked in Treasury, of course, was Ed Miliband.
Yes.
And he is known to harbour it. And Lucy Powell.
Well, that will spook the
deputy leader.
markets, Ed Miliband. And there's still this speculation, I keep reading in the papers, that David Miliband's coming back.
I think that's right, actually. Foreign Secretary.
Definitely whispers of that around Westminster.
Andrew, you're on later.
I am.
What time are you on?
9:30. Lots to talk about.
Great. It's going to be a great show. Now, 12 minutes past 8, the Prince of Wales has called on the country to shift its attitudes about homelessness, claiming the problem is a systemic failure.
Speaking at an event marking 3 years of its Homewards project, he argued that preventing homelessness in the first place should be the priority.
Well, our royal correspondent Cameron Walker reports.
3 years since Prince William launched his ambitious Homewards campaign, the future king says tackling homelessness starts long before someone loses their home.
Homelessness is not an individual failure. It is a systemic failure. And if systems can help create the problem, systems can help prevent it. It is clear that Homewards is changing lives. And now imagine the scale we could achieve if our approach was adopted in every corner of the country.
Speaking at the Tate's Modern in central London, the Prince of Wales called for a fundamental shift in attitudes, focusing on prevention rather than managing crises. Homewards works across 6 locations, with the aim of delivering tailored solutions to homelessness in each area. So far, it's helped 73 people and families into stable housing, supported more than 250 people into work, and reached out to thousands before it's too late.
These aren't just statistics. They are people who have a home, a job, and a future that are very different only a few years ago.
This, William hopes, is proof homelessness is not inevitable when people and organisations work together. He's urged more businesses to get involved, and those who work with him suggest behind the scenes he's just as passionate.
Prince William is a very demanding boss. He is extremely ambitious for this project, and he really wants to make sure that we are demonstrating that in these 6 places that you can join up the systems and make it work, because then he wants more people to take it on. So I say he's punchy, he's ambitious, and he really knows his stuff as well. So you've got to be on your game with him.
But Prince William's convening power can only go so far. Homelessness in Britain is at near record levels, and more than 100,000 people are in temporary accommodation. It's a mammoth task, but Prince William hopes he can prove in the next 2 years it is possible to end homelessness, making it rare, brief and unrepeated. Cameron Walker, GB News in London.
Well, I'm delighted to say that we're now joined by royal commentator Jenny Bond. Very good morning to you, Jenny. Always really good to see you. What do you make of this work from Prince William? We know that this is a cause so close to his heart.
I think it's pretty courageous of him to take it on, really, because it is, as Cameron has just described, a massive problem. And in 3 years, the figures that Cameron quoted there show that they're making very small inroads into those figures, but it is a start. And William is the sort of person who thinks just because the problem is big, just because the immediate impact may be small, that's no reason not to do it. And I think that message has come across from the start of this campaign. It's a message of hope. I think one that Andy Burnham would chime with, actually. It's all about being positive and trying to start small, and this is just 6 locations across the country. Start small, see if you can get companies involved, and he has. He's got a lot of big companies involved in this, putting money in, putting $500,000 into each location, and seeing what you can do, sowing the seeds with a collaborative approach. And that's the other key to it, getting people to join up the dots, to work together, instead of lots of little organisations working separately. You know, it may work, it may not. To make it rare, brief and unrepeated is a massive ask, and he probably won't succeed in that. But he's the kind of guy who thinks that doesn't mean I can't try.
Yeah, well, he founded the Earthshot Prize, of course, and I guess he can be a catalyst for change, make the space for ministers to step in if money's required. And, of course, he and his mother, I think, did do work, didn't they, with the homeless when she was alive, and it would have been a very special birthday for Diana today.
Yeah, Diana would have been 65 today. And yes, she took him to Centre Point. She took him for the homeless, and she took him to see homeless people quietly, away from the cameras. So from a very young age, he knows what it's like. And he's had not experience of being homeless, but he has slept on the streets just to see what that would be like. And he's shown his children that as well. He's spoken about how when he's going to school with the kids, I don't know quite where they go to school, where they've seen people as homeless, but somewhere along they have seen homeless people, and he's explained it to them. So this campaign that Diana was so deeply involved in may be handed through even to the next generation. We can but hope. But yeah, if she were to be looking down, I'm sure she'd be very proud of her son.
Oh, she would be. Can we talk about this meeting yesterday? A surprise meeting between J.K. Rowling, the Harry Potter author, and the Queen, talking about children's books.
Well, I don't know. Is it such a surprise? She's in Edinburgh. J.K. Rowling's up there. She is probably the most successful British author in the last 30 years. Why wouldn't they meet? Because Camilla is passionate about books. That's something I think I didn't know about her, actually, before she became Queen. You know, she's been reading avidly since she was a kid, absolutely adores books, and she's got this big campaign for literacy. So I think it's quite normal that she'd meet J.K. Rowling. I know she's controversial. Camilla knows she's controversial, but that didn't stand in the way as far as the Queen was concerned.
Well, is that the point? Is that the point that she is controversial, and is this the way the royal family may, you know, support someone like J.K. Rowling, who stands up for women's rights and is in a constant battle online, of course, with the trans community?
Well, I don't think we should deduce from this any of Camilla's views about the trans community. I think we should take from it the fact that she celebrates someone who started from a very poor beginning and has made, as we know, millions, probably billions, out of writing. And much more important than the money, she has encouraged so many children, thousands and thousands of children, to take up a book and read. And that's what the Queen wants them to do.
OK, Jenny Bond, really good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
OK, let's go weather now with Aidan McGivern.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the latest update from the Met Office. It's a fine start for many of us today. A lot of cloud around, the best of any brightness in the south, with the cloud turning thicker in the north later, leading to some persistent rain. Initially, we do have some showers through Wales, northern England, much of Scotland. These are mostly light and confined to the hills, but the cloud builds across Northern Ireland later, allowing for some rain to roll in. Ahead of that, some clear spells, some sunshine emerging through Wales, the south of England, and temperatures responding reasonably. We're into the low to mid-20s. Further north, high teens, low 20s. But it's going to turn breezy as the more persistent rain arrives into western Scotland and Northern Ireland through the evening. That rain eventually reaching parts of the north and east of Scotland, but it's light and patchy here. Shetland, dry until after dark. But here's the rain for the west of Scotland, Northern Ireland turning heavy and persistent as it moves in. Light and patchy rain for Northern England, mostly over hills, but clear spells for the southern half of the UK. So this remarkable contrast developing overnight with a lot of wet and breezy weather in the north of the country, clear skies further south. A mild night for sleeping for many of us, with the cloud and the breeze keeping temperatures high. And then by the end of the night, cloud thickens across many parts of England and Wales to bring some dribs and drabs of rain in, mostly over western hills and coasts, first thing Thursday. Temperatures of 16 or 17 Celsius from dawn, and a lot of mist and murk in the south of the country before the cloud and the patchy showery rain clears through the morning. So brightening skies for England and Wales after a bit of a grey start, but further north We've got a fresh breeze coming in from the west, bringing some showers into the north of Scotland, but actually plenty of fine weather, and temperatures responding well once again. 26 Celsius in the south, 20 further north.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
At 22 minutes past 8, let's take a look at some other stories coming into the newsroom this morning.
Millions of households will pay more for their gas and electricity from this month as Ofcom's new energy price gap takes effect. The cap for an average household bill is rising by 13% to £1,862 a year. The regulator blames higher wholesale gas prices linked to the conflict in the Middle East.
Residents in a small Shropshire village are fighting plans to place dozens of asylum seeker families into a new build estate. The Stoke Heath scheme would move 83 people into 21 homes. Locals have branded it Migrant Street.
Yes, that one will run and run. Now, a new survey has found that fewer than half of drivers think they could pass the theory test if they took it today. Well, I didn't take it. The poll marks 30 years since that test was introduced.
Now, do stay with us still to come. It's just a matter of days now until the rollout of weight loss pills. This is an alternative to the weight loss injections. We're going to be talking about whether they're going to be as effective as we've seen with the jabs. That's next.
This is GB News with Ellie and Chris.
Breaking news, live updates, stories that matter.
From the heart of the GB newsroom to every corner of Britain, with our team of dedicated journalists across the UK.
GB News bulletins are there to deliver the latest news that matters to you.
Bulletins on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions, but every Friday night at 9 p.m. you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back,
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
and we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Dubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Do you trust what you're being told? Good, because neither do I.
Those are just facts.
I'm Alex Armstrong, and on my show, we'll expose the spin.
Well, I want to answer that, because you didn't let me last time, because you always speak over me.
The broken promises.
To deny that is denying the truth.
And the hypocrisy.
Needs to stop. You think we can allow?
Politics, policy, parliament. Nothing is off limits. No sugarcoating, no fear of offence, just the truth laid bare. Tune in every Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. for Alex Armstrong Tonight, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
I've been in Westminster for a long time, but I know that though power may be here, its effect on people's lives is across the whole of the country. We may be where rules are made, but it's where they're implemented that matters. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for forthright and frank discussion on where Britain has come from, where it's going, and where it will end up. That's State of the Nation, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
OK, more than 16 million of us Brits are living with obesity, making the UK the third most overweight country in Europe.
It's not good, is it?
No.
Well, as of early next week, thousands of people are scheduled to start taking the world's first GLP-1 weight loss tablet, as initial deliveries of the pill are expected to reach patients. This is an alternative to the weight loss injections.
We're joined now by the general practitioner and TV doctor, I can say, Hilary Jones. Thank you for joining us, Hilary.
Pleasure, Christopher.
Why is a jab more effective than a pill?
Actually, the semaglutide pill, Wegovy pill, as it's going to be called, is almost as effective as the injectables.
Oh.
So in trials, the average weight loss was 16.6% with the tablet and 16.9% with the injectable. So they're still very effective. This is a new thing. Next week, the pills will become available. Thousands of people are already, queuing up for consultations. And for eligible people, this will be of great interest. So people who are overweight with a BMI of 30 or 27 with a weight-related condition will be eligible to think about going onto the Wegovy pill. It's easy to take, so you fast for 8 hours overnight, and then on an empty stomach with a sip of water, you take your tablet, and then you wait 30 minutes before eating or drinking anything else to aid absorption. And it's as simple as that. Now, obviously, it should come with the wraparound services. It's not just a magic bullet like anything else. It needs to come with the advice about nutrition, about exercise, about your psychology. But for many people, it will do exactly the same as semaglutide in injectable form. It stops the food noise, that constant thinking about, when's your next snack, what's for dinner. It stops all that, makes you feel fuller for longer, and it gets great results.
Is it a daily thing, weekly thing?
Yes, it's a daily pill.
Daily pill that you take. Is there a concern that once somebody is on these semaglutide injections or tablets, they would have to be on them for life? Because that food noise that you're talking about, that only goes away when you're on the injections or the tablets.
That's right. So maintenance is really important, and that's why the wraparound services that should come with it will help people ideally when they come off the medication to continue their weight loss journey and keep the weight off. So unless they have that, people are quite likely to put the weight back on because the hormones come back, everything is deregulated again. But if you know what to do, if you know what to eat, if you know what your portion sizes should be and you're exercising, hopefully that weight will stay off without medication in the future.
This is on the NHS, to be quite clear.
It's not. It's not going to be available on the NHS until NICE decide whether it's cost effective and whether the NHS can afford it. It's only going to be available from private providers, and those private providers, such as Juniper, they're the ones should be giving the wraparound services and do a good job with all of that.
It is costing, it says here, up to £154 for starter doses, up to £269 for higher maintenance doses. It's quite expensive for the National Health Service, and some people may be saying, shouldn't people just go on a diet? Do they need pills, or do you see a medical reason for it?
Well, yeah, as you know, Christopher, diets don't work, and it's not just a simple question of willpower.
They can work.
They can work if you've got immense willpower and you're exercising and you're doing. But so many people fail. But it's not them that fail. It's the diets that fail.
Right.
Most diets don't work because they only look at one pathway, whereas the GLP-1s look at lots of different pathways. They work on the appetite centre in the brain. They work on stomach fullness. They work on the food noise. So that's why they are more effective. And of course, if you've got diabetes, you've got heart disease, all of the things that are worsened by being overweight, then these pills really have a place, but they have to be used appropriately for eligible people, not for anybody. And one word of warning, I expect there will be lots of fakes. So don't buy cheaper fakes. They won't work, or they could be dangerous. Always go to a clinician with a reputation from a good private clinic that will look after you, hold your hand throughout the journey.
OK, Dr. Hilary Jones, good to see you. Thank you very much for coming in
Ellie.
to talk to us.
Thank you. OK. Now, if you're travelling to work or school, here is your traffic and travel update. And don't forget, please stay with us on digital and on radio, of course.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The M77 southbound near Dumbreck is restricted due to an incident. Congestion is westbound on the M4 between junctions 37 and 39. One lane on the M60 anti-clockwise in Salford is closed between junctions 16 and 15, and the M69 southbound has a lane closed between the M1 and junction 1 due to a broken down vehicle. In Devon, the A38 westbound has one lane closed after a crash. And on the trains, disruptions occur between Cambridge and Hitchin, plus London Overground delays between Stratford and Clapham Junction. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Now, do stay with us still to come. Paul is here with all your sports. Big game tonight.
It is rather a big game. England play Congo to get into the last 16 of the World Cup, and Clive Allen's going to be with us to discuss very shortly.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What we're going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Welcome to Free Speech Nation with me, Josh Howard. This is the show where each week we see what's happening in the world of culture, current affairs and politics.
First we'll say, welcome to the UK. Oh, thank you.
And we're not afraid to use our free speech so that you can use yours.
It's not controversial in the slightest to anyone who hasn't lost their mind.
Free Speech Nation, Sunday nights at 7 p.m, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
As soon as it hits 11 and the headlines come in,
The Late Edition brings you the breaking news from all the front pages.
because the news is going to happen.
So get a head start today.
Patrick Christie's tonight, late edition.
Alex Armstrong tonight, Late Edition. From 11 o'clock every night.
Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
No,
Because the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back,
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
and we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
OK, it's time to go through all the latest sports news with broadcaster Paul Coit. Paul, big night.
Very official, thank you very much. Yeah, big night. Well, it is really, isn't it? It's the first knockout game for England playing Congo tonight, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's in Atlanta. Our friend Ben Leo, who's been everywhere, hasn't he? What a great gig he's had. He's been to every game.
Living the life, that man.
Exactly. And Ben's been out on the streets of Atlanta finding England fans, and this is what he sent to us.
Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia, the home of England's last 32 game against Congo tomorrow, and I think maybe the hottest venue so far for England's World Cup campaign. 35 degrees Celsius, 60% humidity. Let's see what the England fans think after that heat wave in the UK last week. Tell the viewers at home, I'm dripping with sweat all over my T-shirt, not because I'm in trouble with anyone, hopefully, but just how hot is it here?
It's nearing 100. Yesterday was over 100, and I think we're getting probably hotter.
Yeah, it's roasting. It's just close. We've had it, obviously. Have you been out this whole time? Because it's roasting in England last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
it's hotter than that.
Good to see you. You well?
Yes, doing all right. Hot.
Yeah, it is hot, isn't it?
It is like being at home, but like on steroids.
At home, you're like dying here. It's like so much worse.
Yeah.
It's aircon in the stadium, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
thankfully.
Yeah, I think that makes a difference.
Oh, pretty balmy here, isn't it? How are you coping with the heat?
We're going to find a pub now.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
We're going to find a pub and then we're going to have a beer and watch the football.
It's supposed to be aircon in there, so hopefully not too bad.
Still get the hydration breaks, though.
Yeah, they're definitely for the adverts.
It's the humidity, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like 60%. Oh, I need some tips to stay cool, obviously. Look at the state of me. Where are you going?
Beer. Yeah.
That's what you beer.
Get to the bar.
What are you doing stood in the sun? Why are you stood in the sun?
I was playing football, actually. I did a silly thing and started playing football, so showing off.
You need to make sure that you go tomorrow night to watch the England because it's an air-conditioning stadium.
So if we beat Congo tomorrow, are you staying on for Mexico City?
I'd love to, but I've got to get him back to school, unfortunately.
School? We don't like school, do we?
We don't want to go to school.
Would you rather go to school or to Mexico City?
Mexico City.
Yay! There you go, teachers. Listen to Ollie.
Just left them.
Well, there you go. Ben, the skills were quite good, I've got to say, but there's not too much worry about the heat because it's air-conditioned, the stadium.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
It'll
Will
be
we
absolutely
still get
fine.
those refreshment break things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's ask Clive Hallett. Clive's with us. What do you make on these hydration breaks, Clive? Because I'm really worried that it's FIFA trying to change the game. They're doing something, aren't they, to put more ad breaks? And also, it goes against us because I guess when you get your momentum, everything stops and it suits some teams.
Well, that's what we found, obviously, with those hydration breaks, that the momentum of the game has changed and there's been goals scored just after those breaks where some teams switch off, others obviously are rehydrated, so they get going again and get back to business. So commercial breaks, is that what it's for? Hydration break? I think it's more commercial break.
I'm sure it is. Well, you've played in South America. Listen, it was your debut, wasn't it, for England? Brazil?
Everyone remembers my debut and everyone can't remember it. There's only one reason why, and I always give the clue, John Barnes' goal, which was a memorable goal he scored against...
Crystal goal, dewy-eyed, if you start.
Wow, what a goal that was. Incredible goal. I was sitting on the bench watching and just saying, pass it, John, pass it, John. All he did is just dribbled all the way through the Brazilian team.
Wasn't it?
Incredible, yeah. First time England had ever won in the Maracanã in Brazil. So a memorable night, but... Memorable night for me for my debut, but for John Barnes, an incredible goal.
But before we get on to England, I do want to... You should have scored, right? Because you honestly, the goals that you've scored across your career, you should have scored that night too.
Well, I came on, I hadn't touched the ball.
Right.
And Captain Brian Robson's running through, and I'm alongside him. He just needed to pass it square to me, and my first touch should have been a goal. It didn't happen. Captain had a shot and put it in the side netting. Everybody said to me over the years, what did you say to him? Unlucky skip. That's all you can say.
Did you ever say anything afterwards, years later?
It's been mentioned before over the years.
You should have passed. Right, so England tonight then. What do you think? I mean, I'm sort of joking about the fact I'm a little more concerned than I used to be, but it's this... are we going to be able to break teams down? Because we can imagine what's going to happen tonight. It's going to be... I hope it isn't, but I don't know about you, Chris and Ellie. I think it's going to be frustrating for us.
And that heat will help the Congo team, won't it?
But then, like we said, it's air-conditioned within the stadium. So make it purely sort of like English weather for about November would be perfect.
I think Thomas Tuchel said it's patience. We need that patience. Certainly Congo will defend deeply. We have to find just something clever, something different to unlock that Congo defence. I think we have the potential to do that. Jude Bellingham's in good form. Certainly Harry Kane's in good goal-scoring form. So I see us winning comfortably tonight.
Another boring thing I'm going to say, which I keep going on about, is momentum. Tournament football, it's all about momentum. I thought that where we started with Croatia, I'm thinking, God, we're starting at this level, so we can just get better, but then it sort of dropped back a bit. But every tournament that England seems to have done well in, it's a slow build. So are we going in the right direction, do you think?
Yeah, we are. The direction now is win at all costs. We have to win to progress. And I think we're capable of doing that. We have the squad, we have great ability within that squad, and we have the potential to go a long, long way, if not win the competition.
You think we could win?
I think we could.
It's coming home.
Think we could.
Clive Allen says it's coming home.
He said, I think we could win.
I think he said...
He didn't say we will win, I think we could win. That's fair.
We certainly have the potential, and as things progress, there's some hurdles along the way. Obviously, the way that it's now mapped out could be Mexico in the Azteca in the next game, which would be very, very difficult.
Clive,
maybe Brazil, maybe Argentina, and then France in the final.
You're a footballing professional. It's supposed to be each game as it comes. We get through this one, and then we'll deal with the one after that.
Absolutely. Win tonight.
Great to see you, Clive, as always. Thanks for coming.
Let's start with a win tonight.
Absolutely, let's do it.
Very good.
Cheers, Paul.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks, Clive.
Now, still to come, fish and chip shops are facing a shortage of a very important ingredient. It could panic you. We're going to be talking about that in the papers with Quentin Letts and Anna Firth. That's up next. Morning, you two.
But first, here's the forecast for some of the top European destinations.
Dinner under the stars tonight?
That reminds me of our travel insurance.
You mean all clear skies?
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations forecast.
Mixed weather across southern Europe at the moment. Quite a few showers for Italy, some thunderstorms, breezy through central parts of the Mediterranean, as well as the Canary Islands and Madeira. But an emerging hot spell is expected through Portugal and for south and west Spain. Temperatures of 40 Celsius for Lisbon. Unusually hot for this location. Here are the showers for Italy, but they ease during Friday and into the weekend.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations forecast.
GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
And it's Father's Day. I don't know if my dad's up yet. If you are, happy Father's Day.
He's already texted.
Is he?
He's tuning in.
Mr. Reaper, good morning to you.
Sunday, well, speaking of Sunday lunches, he'll be having a roast pork joint later, courtesy of myself.
Good.
Cards and gifts are a big part of the day, of course, but it's also important to remember that there is more to it than that.
Yeah, because it's not just about one day, is it? Actually, it's like, what do dads do? And healthy fathers, a healthy sort of father-son, father-daughter relationship builds strong families, builds strong communities and helps build a strong country, actually.
Well, that is why mentoring the next generation matters more than ever. So take a little extra time today, make sure you do, to appreciate not just the fathers or the grandfathers or the uncles out there, but any strong father figure that you may have.
GB News, the People's Channel. GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
Welcome back to Breakfast, 25 minutes past 6. And breaking news this morning, the TV presenter Jeremy Clarkson has revealed that he's been diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer in an emotional video.
In the scenes, he's telling his co-stars Caleb Cooper and Charlie Ireland, his land agent and his farm manager, and they're both devastated, as you can imagine. You know, it's a huge bombshell to drop on them. He's only 66. He's made no secrets that he's maybe not lived the healthiest lifestyle. After the heart problems, he bemoans having to eat Greek yogurt and kale and whatnot. But following this, I think he's going to have a complete lifestyle overhaul even further, and just fingers crossed the treatment proves effective.
GB News, the People's Channel. Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
Hello there, Emily and Tom. Yes, some breaking news in the last few moments from Kensington Palace regarding our future king, Prince George of Wales, the oldest son of the Prince and Princess of Wales. The short statement from Kensington Palace reads, Kensington Palace can confirm that Prince George will attend Eton College in September. That news just coming in from the royal household in the last few moments. This clearly is, well, perhaps not surprising news for those in royal circles. Eton College, the most prestigious school, arguably in the country, educating 20 prime ministers, and of course Prince George's own father and uncle, Prince William and Prince Harry, as well as 2 Dukes of Gloucester, the Duke of Kent and Prince Michael of Kent as well. So that confirmation just coming in from Kensington Palace. £63,000 a year it costs to send a child to Eton College.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Let's look at some of the newspaper front pages.
And The Guardian reports on the dip, the defence investment plan, with the Prime Minister leaving Andy Burnham with the task of raising £5 billion to plug a funding gap.
The Times has the same lead, claiming that Andy Burnham, set to be PM 2 weeks on Monday, will have to choose between a tax raid or cuts to service to make up the deficit.
The Telegraph also reports on this black hole with a growing number of Labour
5 p.m. today against the Congo, and very good luck from us all at GB News to the three lines.
Yes, definitely. Well, let's speak now to Quentin Letts and Anna Firth, who are going through the papers with us this morning. Anna, this one caught our eye, didn't we? We couldn't quite believe our eyes. This in the Mail today. The Treasury has scrapped numeracy tests.
Exactly, Ellie. I mean, is there any surprise that we've got a big black hole and the finances are in a bit of a mess when the Treasury has ditched numeracy tests in a bid to attract more diverse candidates? I mean, it's like pilots not having their eyesight tested, isn't it? It's like scrapping a fitness test for firefighters. Absolutely ridiculous.
Why? That's the key point.
Well, because they found that that candidates from more diverse backgrounds were struggling with the numeracy test. We just want the best and the brightest brains, don't we, in the Treasury, and particularly people that can add up. It's not.
Might help at the top. I'm not convinced the one at the top at the moment is particularly good at sums.
Rachel Reeves, you mean?
Yes.
But bean counters should be able to count beans, Quentin Letts.
Well, yes, but there's a very important matter because the Treasury found that in its hiring processes there was an adverse impact on when they asked applicants to do a few sums.
Yeah.
So, you can't have anything unfairness. Everyone must have prizes.
OK.
Well, we should say that a Treasury spokesman has said it's complete nonsense to suggest that we've lowered our hiring standards for the sake of diversity.
But look at that. What is nonsense?
It plainly isn't.
Is it lowering standards for different reasons, not diversity, or what? Anyway, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, page 25 of The Sun is a story we couldn't get to in the last hour, Quentin. The headline is a John Lennon song, Give Peas a Chance.
This is a story, ladies and gentlemen, stand by your beds. There's going to be a shortage of mushy peas because the weather's been bad and the pea harvest. I must say, my mosh too are going gangbusters this year. The weather has had a massive effect. Things are always massive, aren't they, in newspapers? Yes. So says The Sun. And very important because peas can contribute. They can be one of your 5 a day, Christopher.
Yes, even if they're mushed.
Even if they're mushed. And so just think about it, fish and chips, you do actually all 5 in one go because you have your peas, then you have your tomato sauce.
Yes.
You have the capers in the tartar sauce. You have the hops in the beer that you have with it.
Yes.
And then you have a chocolate orange at the end. So you're sorted.
Very good, Chris.
And even the chives, the other herbs.
That's absolutely sorted.
He is joking, viewers, after our swimming jab chat about hot...
Oh, sorry.
But the thing I noticed about this says here that the average cost of cotton chips was now £11.41, which I think does sound actually quite a lot. So I did a little bit of research. Now, there's a wonderful fish shop on London Road in Leigh-on-Sea called Fishalicious, and their Fishalicious, their small cotton chips is still £9.50.
Good.
Their regular cotton chips is £10. And I can vouch for this fish shop because they supplied fish and chips to a lovely lunch I did for old people during the cost of living crisis. So get down there to Fishalicious and get your £9.50 cod and chips.
So you're still hoping to stand in Leigh-on-Sea then as a candidate, political candidate?
I'm still representing my residents on every opportunity.
And do let us know where you're getting your fish and chips from and the cost of them, because somebody got in touch a few days ago saying that it may have been in Grimsby. They're still getting a portion of cotton chips for £3.50.
£3.50? Where was that again, Ellie?
I believe it was Grimsby. If that is you, do get in touch. And
it's probably very fresh fish, though.
Remind me, it must
Small
be.
helpings, isn't it?
Wow.
It is, But I think worth it still. I think £11 is a fantastic meal, isn't it?
It's so much better value than going to Burger King or one of these other burger places.
Yeah, other restaurants are available. Anna, this is good news to my ears. 5 coffees a day may actually be good for you.
Yes, this really caught my eye because I've already had 3 lovely cappuccinos here this morning. And it turns out that 5 cups of coffee a day can halve your risk of developing and dying of liver cancer, which is a horrible cancer to have. And halving your risk is you know, I think is fantastic news. This is apparently a large study done by Southampton University with you know, over many years and thousands of people. So it seems as if it's a reliable study, and it seems that you're less likely to get cirrhosis of the liver as well. So who would have thought that the common cup of coffee would have such you know, huge?
5 a day is quite a lot. I mean, that's a lot of caffeine.
Yeah, well, I definitely get 3-5 cups a day, but I am up at 2:45.
Yes.
Give me a cup of instant any day. One a day, then tea.
Is that all you need? And then tea. But the good thing about this is benefits are also seen in those who drank sweetened or decaf coffee. So coffee just generally.
I was really interested by the decaf coffee, because I'm afraid I don't go for decaf coffee, because I definitely want that coffee boost.
Okay. Quentin, the Daily Mail, they're comparing the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and their on-off visit to the UK with, guess who, the Princess of Wales climbing, apparently quietly, without fanfare, although it was on social media, the Three Peaks Challenge at the weekend.
I get into trouble when I talk about Harry and Meghan.
Well, have a go. Go on, try it.
I haven't got much time for them. I mean, I'm a monarchist.
To compare Meghan with Kate. They're doing things differently. Meghan is not a member of the royal family. Kate is, and it's unfair. I mean, the younger generation are definitely Meghan fans. The older ones aren't, I find.
Kate, if we can call her that, the Princess of Wales, going up those mountains, amazing effort. Rather her than me. But I don't know. I just wish the Sussex could decide if they're royal or not.
Yes.
And if they're not going to be royal, just stop having airs and graces.
Anna?
Oh, I think this is fantastic. I mean, she's done this to raise money for charity. It's a pretty difficult thing to do, actually. I've got two children who've tried to do this, and they've just missed doing it in the 24 hours. So, you know, good on her. And I don't think she's done this with fanfare. She's done it quite quietly, and it was lovely, wasn't it, to see her talking to that person in a wheelchair?
Well, I did it once, by the way, and got lost on the second peak. We started from the wrong village and couldn't make it up, so I did 2.5 peaks.
It's a tough signposts, isn't it?
No, but we started the wrong village with the same name.
Schoolboy error.
Scorefell Pike.
Do it. You've got to do it again, Chris.
Yeah, it was last century I tried it. So you and me, Quentin.
Yeah.
I've just had a
GB challenge. GB challenge.
GB challenge.
I get a stitch going up the Malvern Hills.
Just had this from Mark saying, is Grimsby Ellie? Matthews of Grimsby is the name. And they also give out free food to the homeless.
OK.
Wonderful.
And, Quentin, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for looking in.
Thanks, you too. Thank you.
Still to come, we're preparing to conduct our very own science experiment here in the studio. There it is. Lights are going dark. Will we make out alive? Will GB News go off air because of lightning striking in the studio? That's at 9:15 a.m.
Yeah, but first we're joined by the Minister for Defence Readiness, Luke Pollard. That's up next. We're going to be asking him, is he happy with the DIP, the Defence Investment Plan?
He might be thunderous. Stay tuned.
He might be thunderous, yeah, do stay tuned for that. But before all of that, here's your weather.
Today's outlook: cool, calm and completely horizontal. Boxed Aircon sponsors the weather on GB News.
Hello, a very good morning to you. Welcome to the latest update from the Met Office. It's a fine start for many of us today. A lot of cloud around, the best of any brightness in the south, with the cloud turning thicker in the north later, leading to some persistent rain. Initially, we do have some showers through Wales, northern England, much of Scotland. These are mostly light and confined to the hills, but the cloud builds across Northern Ireland later, allowing for some rain to roll in. Ahead of that, some clear spells, some sunshine emerging through Wales, the south of England, and temperatures responding reasonably. We're into the low to mid-20s. Further north, high teens, low 20s. But it's going to turn breezy as the more persistent rain arrives into western Scotland and Northern Ireland through the evening. That rain eventually reaching parts of the north and east of Scotland, but it's light and patchy here. Shetland, dry until after dark. But here's the rain for the west of Scotland, Northern Ireland turning heavy and persistent as it moves in. Light and patchy rain for Northern England, mostly over hills, but clear spells for the southern half of the UK. So this remarkable contrast developing overnight with a lot of wet and breezy weather in the north of the country, clear skies further south. A mild night for sleeping for many of us, with the cloud and the breeze keeping temperatures high. And then by the end of the night, Cloud thickens across many parts of England and Wales to bring some dribs and drabs of rain in, mostly over western hills and coasts, first thing Thursday. Temperatures of 16 or 17 Celsius from dawn, and a lot of mist and murk in the south of the country before the cloud and the patchy showery rain clears through the morning. So brightening skies for England and Wales after a bit of a grey start. But further north, we've got a fresh breeze coming in from the west, bringing some showers into the north of Scotland, but actually plenty of fine weather, and temperatures responding well once again. 26 Celsius in the south, 20 further north.
Today's outlook: cool, calm and completely horizontal. Boxed Aircon sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for the thousands of you who are becoming friends of GB News each and every week.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A78 northbound Barrissey off-slip to the A759 remains closed for maintenance. The A483 is closed both ways due to a police incident between Ruabon and Halton. On the M6 northbound in Warwickshire, a collision has closed 3 lanes. Drivers on the M4 eastbound near Slough face 40-minute delays due to a crash blocking 3 lanes. The A38 westbound Devon has 1 lane closed, causing 10-minute delays. And on the trains, Great Northern services between Cambridge and Hitchin are disrupted, as well as London Overground between Stratford and Clapham Junction. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
We're celebrating a golden summer with a terrific 2-part Great British giveaway. First, you could win a sensational £60,000 in tax-free cash. And that's not all, as you'll also win our most precious prize to date, a fine gold bar worth over £5,000. For a chance to win, text GOLD to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. Or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entry start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB22 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 21st of August. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pooled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Bold. They are under no illusion. Ray. Are you a human trafficker? Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What we're going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Good morning. Sir Keir Starmer leaves a £5 billion black hole in the defence investment budget.
The outgoing Prime Minister's parting gift to the next Prime Minister, probably Andy Burnham, could force him to raise taxes in the next budget to plug the gap. What a welcome present. Early on the programme, Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp had some choice words for the government.
When the government announced yesterday the total amount of extra money, £5 billion of it, a third of it, was totally unfunded. They've got no idea at all where it's going to come from. So Keir Starmer has left a toxic legacy there.
Well, all that, and there's still no definitive date for when defence spending will hit 3% of GDP, which is, of course, the NATO target, leading many to ask, has the outgoing Prime Minister's plan left Britain exposed to Russian threats?
Yes, if Andy Burnham was hoping for a nice, long honeymoon period, then he has another thing coming. Some very difficult decisions to be made in that autumn budget. But who will be his Chancellor? Find out more with me very soon.
Elsewhere, the Home Secretary, there she is, Shabana Mahmood, bans migrants from being housed in new builds after it was revealed that a group of asylum seekers were set to move into brand new homes worth £250,000.
Halfway into the year and small boat crossings are down, but by how much? We're going to be bringing you the latest on the Channel crossings crisis.
And millions of households will pay more for their gas and electricity from today as Ofgem's new energy price cap takes effect, pushing bills up by 13%.
And we're getting a sneak peek into Europe's only lightning lab today. And even better, we're going to be showing you at home a live lightning bolt in this very studio. Anything could happen, truly. You don't want to miss this in about 10 minutes' time.
We may be going off air. There could be thunder. It's a big morning.
A fine start for many of us this morning, but rain is on the way for some, while sunshine will remain for others. Full details in the forecast coming up soon.
Good morning, it's just gone 9 o'clock. I'm Ellie Costello.
And I'm Christopher Hope, and this is, of course, GB News Breakfast.
We had a wonderful night last night, didn't we? Liv, you were there as well.
We did indeed. What a night. You guys, I was
Very, very impressed. Up and about 11 o'clock, having a cocktail, and here they are. You were.
Yep, soft drinks. Of course, last night was the celebration of the US's 250th anniversary since their Brexit, since independence from the UK.
And it was a great party, wasn't it?
It was an amazing event. That's the second biggest private garden in the whole of England, I think it is.
Winfield House in Regent's Park is where the US ambassador lives.
Beautiful. What an evening for it.
Did you get lots of the nice food?
Oh, I got lots of the nice food. Very long queues, and then rather small burgers. But if you went to enough stands, then you could really pack it in.
Yeah, and we kind of hopped through all of the food huts, didn't we?
We did.
We had a burger, and then we had some chips, and then we had a hot dog.
A freedom dog was nice. That was
a freedom dog.
There's
yes.
you, me and Ali wear my Stars and Stripes and the big tie there.
You were dressed for the occasion.
That's Catherine Forster, our colleague, of course.
Ah.
And there we have it, a bit of me, so that's me again. But that's Winfield House, where the ambassador lives. It's all my pictures. There we have it.
Oh, there we are.
There's Liv and Rebecca, our producer, and us. And there's Emil, our cameraman.
It was a lovely night out, wasn't it? Really good.
What an evening.
Yeah. It was. There's me again.
There's a marching band from Arkansas.
Other people were there too, not just me at this party, but it was a good party. It was a great night out.
It was brilliant, wasn't it?
But there's a lot of things happening now, and they're very serious in the world, notably on defence. Our top story has Andy Burnham, our future Prime Minister, probably facing a defence dilemma as soon as he takes charge, to tax or to cut spending to keep us safe.
Yeah, that is the question for the Prime Minister in waiting. He's going to have to answer it too after Sir Keir Starmer's defence investment plan left a gap, a black hole if you like, of nearly £5 billion that will need to be found for the next budget.
Sir Keir announced a total increase of £15 billion for the defence budget, but only £10 billion of that has been set aside already. The rest must be found by the future Prime Minister, and top military voices and senior Labour MPs are already criticising the plan.
Hamish Faulkner, who is the Minister for the Middle East and North Africa, warned against cancelling road-building projects in his constituency in order to boost defence.
There's his letter on screen. And the former Defence Secretary John Healey, he resigned, of course, over the plan before it was increased slightly, took aim at the government's failure to commit to spending 3% of our gross domestic product on defence by 2030. And that is, of course, NATO's recommendation for member states.
Well, let's go through all of this, shall we, with our political correspondent Olivia Utley, who's in the studio with us. Morning to you, Liv. What a parting shot from Keir Starmer.
What a parting shot. Well, this explains why Keir Starmer was so determined to get the defence investment plan published before he left office. He has essentially left a grenade for Andy Burnham to pick up when he takes office in a few weeks' time. The original defence investment plan, the one that John Healey, the former Defence Secretary, resigned over, committed £13.5 billion for defence defence. Keir Starmer has seemingly found another 1.5 billion to make it up to 15 billion, but when you look closely at the figures, he hasn't really found that 1.5 billion. 10 billion of this 15 is made up of efficiency savings, although there actually isn't very much detail on how those efficiency savings are going to be made, just a vague statement about road projects which aren't that essential being delayed. Then the other 5 billion, there's no explanation at all of where it's going to come from. The quote in the document is a further 4.7 billion over 4 years will be confirmed at Budget 2026 in a fair and balanced way.
It's saying Hamish Falconer, a minister in the Foreign Office, is concerned about some of that 10 billion. The A46 expansion won't go ahead. We haven't even got to the complaints from MPs when the 5 billion is found. Luke Pollard, who's the Defence Minister, he says today that he first saw the detail, the breakdown of this defence spending plan yesterday from the Treasury. So it looks like the MOD has been blindsided by Rachel Reeves' department about where the money's coming from.
Which is precisely what happened when John Healey resigned as well. As the Defence Secretary, he only saw the plan in its entirety 2 days before it was going to be published. Yes, it does seem like Treasury smoke and mirrors going on here. £10 billion, no proper explanation. £5 billion, no explanation at all. And the issue is that £15 billion isn't even enough. If the UK is to meet its target of 3.5% defence spending by 2035, we're going to have to find £25 billion every year from now on. And if we can't even find 15 billion, if we can't even find 10 billion, how are we going to find 25 billion? I do not envy Andy Burnham and his next Chancellor, whoever that may be.
What a mess. Liv, thank you very much.
Now, time for our brand new Great British giveaway.
Truly is great.
It is. You're joining our Golden Summer celebration. Your chance to win £60,000 in tax-free cash. Not enough for the defence budget, but enough for a nice summer.
Yeah, you'd have a great summer holidays with that, but that's not all.
No, it's not. What do you get? You get a £5,000 real gold bar. That's a lot of gold.
It certainly is. And you can decide what you'd like to do with that. You could even give it to a loved one.
Yes.
Hang on to it. See if it gains more value.
But we can't enter.
We can't, but you
not
can.
Not fair.
You can. Here are all the details that you need.
We're celebrating a golden summer with a terrific two-part Great British giveaway. First, you could win a sensational £60,000 in tax-free cash to spend however you like this year. What would you do with that? And that's not all, as you'll also win our most precious prize to date, a fine gold bar worth over £5,000. It's pure gold to own, trade or gift to a loved one and secure their financial future. So make sure you don't miss your chance to bank over £65,000 worth of prizes in our Golden Summer celebration. For a chance to win £60,000 in tax-free cash and a real gold bar, text GOLD to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text BONUS to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entry starts at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge, or post your name and number to GB22 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 21st of August. This is a network giveaway. Entries will be pooled. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Now, let's speak to Minister for Defence, Readiness and Industry, Luke Pollard. Very good morning to you, Mr Pollard. When did you see the Defence Investment Plan, and are you happy with it?
So I've been working on the Defence Investment Plan now for the past year, since the Strategic Defence Review was published, and we set out the increased threat that we are facing as a nation and what are the capabilities that are now required to deter that aggression, in particular from Russia, and if necessary, to be able to defeat it. So we've been looking at the line-by-line review of the MOD spending. So we know that we inherited a set of armed forces that had been hollowed out and underfunded by the last government, and that's why we've already increased defence spending, and we've further increased it yesterday to help match the threats with the capabilities needed to address them.
Yep. Are you happy with it, though? Is there enough money there?
So as a defence minister, I always want to see more defence spending, and importantly, the £15 billion is a good platform for us to build on as we go into the spending review next year. Now, out of Treasury speak, the spending review is where the government allocates money from across every single government department, and that will start setting the path to get us to 3%, and then ultimately to hit our NATO target of 3.5% of GDP being spent on defence. But to kind of put that in real terms for your viewers, the last year the Conservative government, we were spending £53 billion on defence. Now that's a lot of money, but next year we'll be spending £20 billion more than that.
Okay.
And that's the increase that the Labour government's delivered.
But Luke Pollard, you know that only 10 billion of the 15 billion is set aside. When did you first see the Treasury breakdown of how your plan is being funded?
So I only saw that relatively late on because my role within the Ministry of Defence has been to look at the capabilities.
Was that yesterday?
So it was in the past few days, yes, because I only saw the formal draft, as many of the public did, when it was published by the Treasury alongside the Defence Investment Plan. But I know that the Defence Secretary has been working very closely with the Chancellor and the Prime Minister to secure the uplift in the funding that we now have. But for my job is to make sure that the money we get for defence is spent wisely, and in particular, how do we make sure more of that budget is spent with British companies creating jobs here at home?
So there's a £5 billion black hole in this defence investment plan. It's not funded. How is this going to be plugged?
No, so we've got a £298 billion defence plan for the next 4 years, a £15 billion increase. Two-thirds of that increase has been funded by asking other departments to give up 1p in the pound of their capital budgets and move that money to defence. 4.7 billion of that increased defence budget will be set out in the autumn budget, which, as you will know, is fairly common government practice, something done by previous governments that announce the policy intent and the detail of how that is afforded at the next budget, or the next fiscal event, as we would say in Treasury speak, which is the budget that will be in the autumn this year.
Why won't your government cut benefits to put the money into our defence budget and keep us safe?
Well, I want to see people that are on welfare, if they can work, get back into work. And that's why you will know that we've set out a £1 billion increase in the help and support to help people that are on some of those incapacity type benefits to be able to go back into the world of work. I want to see more people work if they can. If they can't, I think we should be supporting those. And I think that would be a view shared by many of your viewers. But if people can work, they should be working. And that's the steps that I want to be taking, and I know the government wants to be taking, to get people into work. And I think the Defence Investment Plan actually is a good opportunity of creating some of those jobs. So MOD analysis from the plan that we launched yesterday suggests that we'll be creating a further 60,000 jobs in the defence supply chain to support that increased defence spend and the new kit and equipment that we're buying. And that means by the end of this decade, 500,000 people will be working in defence roles in the UK. Now that is a good boost to the economy, and especially a boost for those young people who'll be starting it as an apprentice on the increased shipbuilding programme, as apprentice on the new missiles that we're producing, or building the new drones that we'll be giving to the British Army.
But you can admit, can't you, that we're not going far or fast enough. Your title is the Minister for Defence Readiness. Can you say, hand on heart, that we are ready for an attack?
So I can say hand on heart that if we were attacked today, the UK Armed Forces would respond to that. But would we be more ready tomorrow and the day after that? Absolutely. That's why we're on the path to move from expeditionary warfare, so the era of Iraq and Afghanistan, to the era of warfighting readiness. Now, that was a key recommendation in the Strategic Defence Review that was published roughly a year ago, that set out that we need to change the way that our armed forces are structured, the way they operate, the train and are equipped, to reposition ourselves to be able to deter, in particular, Russian aggression, and to be necessary to fight it. And that's why when the Prime Minister set out that we need to be ready to respond to a potential Russian attack by 2030, we're doing that by increasing that readiness. Now, in practical terms, that means buying more missiles, making sure we're buying more drones, expanding the... No, we're not, but we inherited a situation where we came into office at 2.3% of GDP. Now, we as a country have not spent 2.7% on GDP, not once in the last 14 years under the Conservatives, but not once in the last 30 years. That's why we're increasing it. But for me, my job is to make sure that increased defence budget is spent wisely and we're buying the new kit and equipment that we need. Now, to do that, we've got to retire some of those older platforms, those older capabilities that have given good service to our armed forces, but are no longer relevant in the 21st century, and buy the latest tech. And that's what the Defence Investment Plan sets out very clearly.
Before we let you go, Luke Pollard, what's your message to your colleague in government, Hamish Falconer, who doesn't want the A46 Newark bypass to be ditched to pay for keeping us safe?
Well, look, I'm a big fan of Hamish. He's a very good constituency MP, and ministers are also constituency MPs. So I represent the south of Plymouth, and I know that if there was something that affected my constituents, I would want to make a case to protect their interests. But across government, we've recognised that this unprecedented change in increasing defence spending has to be paid for by making decisions in spending elsewhere. Now, the Department for Transport is seeing not just a 1p in a pound transfer from their capital budgets. We've asked them to go a wee bit further by allocating £700 million from the roads budget to help pay for the increase in readiness in defence. Now, that means that it's about 3% of the roads budget, and that will affect some programmes. And I entirely understand the difficulty that we're asking our colleagues in the Department for Transport to have with those decisions and the impact on local communities. But when it comes to it, I know the threats we're facing as a nation are real and they are growing. And I think your viewers would want to see the UK government increasing defence spending. We are, and we have done already since coming to office. We'll increase it further in the spending review next year. And that means more money for our armed forces, more kit and equipment, and importantly, an end to the scandal of our military personnel living in appalling accommodation, with £9 billion to rebuild or refurbish 9 in 10 military homes.
Okay, Luke Pollard, as always, thank you very much for joining us this morning on GB News Breakfast.
Yeah, thank you for joining us there. Now, coming up, we're getting a sneak peek into Europe's only lightning lab. And even better, we're going to be showing it to you live, a live lightning bolt in the studio at GB News. Ellie, anything could happen. We could be knocked off air, we could be silenced, there could be thunder and lightning at GB News HQ.
You don't want to miss that. That's up next.
Yes.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pearce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Bold. They are under no illusion. Ray. Are you a human trafficker? Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What we're going to do now is they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. weekdays here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome to Free Speech Nation with me, Josh Howard. This is the show where each week we see what's happening in the world of culture, current affairs and politics.
First of all, say welcome to the UK.
Oh, thank you.
And we're not afraid to use our free speech so that you can use yours.
It's not controversial in the slightest to anyone who hasn't lost their mind.
Free Speech Nation, Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Some people enjoy lazy Sunday mornings, but not me.
What's the truth of the matter?
So that's a very live question.
Would you support him if he waters down these plans?
Before the spin sets in, I'll be getting to the truth.
This is personal.
No soft questions, no easy answers.
It's one thing if the state has rules in this country. It's another thing whether the police and others actually police them.
Setting the agenda and holding those in power to account.
You can't really blame her if the system is set up this way. You will not want to miss it, trust me.
The Camilla Tominey Show, Sundays from 9:30, only on GB News.
Welcome back to breakfast. I'm feeling nervous because anything could happen. We're talking lightning. As Britain braces for another spell of hot weather, researchers are looking at what comes next, because after great spells of weather, what happens?
Thunder and lightning. Now, GB News reporter and our colleague Meg Cope went to a laboratory where lightning is created on demand to help protect everything from planes to power lines. Let's take a look.
After days of soaring temperatures and more to come, thunderstorms have lit up skies across Britain. But while the displays may look spectacular, they'll also leave many holidaymakers wondering what happens if lightning strikes your plane.
It might not look much from the outside, but hidden away here on this industrial estate is one of Europe's most unusual laboratories.
Inside, scientists create artificial lightning on demand. They use it to test aircraft, helping engineers understand exactly what happens when a lightning bolt hits a plane. And this is where that testing happens.
Three, two, one.
The strike lasts less than a second, but carries enormous amounts of electrical current. By creating lightning in controlled conditions, researchers can safely test materials against one of nature's most powerful forces.
So aircraft used to be made out of metals, and metals could conduct the lightning very well, so there's very minimal damage here. This has been struck at the lab. But aircraft are now made out of carbon composites, and the way that we protect them is by placing a copper mesh just underneath the plate. This is a worst case scenario strike, and it hasn't gone through the material, and this is the stuff that we've been researching on to make sure that aircraft are safe.
This demonstration shows what happens when lightning hits an aircraft. Rather than passing through the cabin, the electrical current travels safely around the aircraft's outer skin before leaving through the tail. As Britain experiences more summer thunderstorms, the work happening here couldn't be more relevant. Whether it's protecting aircraft or the infrastructure we rely on every day, these scientists here are helping make sure the next lightning strike is one we're prepared for. Meg Cope, GB News, Cardiff.
OK, with us in the studio isn't Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, but it is Dr. Daniel Mitchard, the scientist and exhibit lead from Cardiff Lightning Laboratory. Thank you for joining us, Daniel. What an extraordinary thing you're doing here, and it just started up recently.
Yeah, our lab has been operational for about 10, 12 years now, down in Cardiff University,
So it's a relatively new technology, isn't it? And you have brought down your kit, the GB News studio,
Yes.
to create lightning right here.
Yes.
I'm very nervous about this, Daniel.
Yes, it's at the other end of the studio, down here, not far from us. We've brought a Tesla coil, which is not lightning itself like we just saw, but it's a very good demonstration of how lightning spreads out in the air and how it attaches to things. And we've got a model aeroplane to strike.
So shall we give it a go?
Yeah,
Do you want to talk us through?
Yeah, so this demonstration is just to show... This demonstration is just to show that lightning, as it attaches to an aeroplane in flight, planes get struck quite often, it just travels through the body of the aircraft. So we can see it now.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
Wow, it's gone
something
dark.
gone out.
pitch
Oh my
black.
goodness,
Oh, wow.
look at that. That's amazing. And people in that plane aren't harmed, are they, Daniel?
No, so
Wow.
the plane, it has a metal coating. In fact, I have some samples here I can show you, but it has a metal coating on the outside, which keeps everyone safe. So I have a sample here I can show you. This is without the coating, so this is an average lightning strike that you can show.
You see the damage there to it.
Yeah, and here we have one which has the coating, the metal coating that keeps people safe. It's the same type of strike.
And if you're in the plane, you don't know you're being hit by lightning.
You will hear a bang and you'll see a flash, but the plane will continue flying.
And that's your work?
And that's what we do. We've done a lot of work on making sure that things like aircraft are safe when they're struck.
So you get to blow things up for a living?
Yes, we do.
So do you think you've got the best job in the world? It's pretty cool.
It's a very enjoyable job, yes. It's a very exciting thing to do.
Before we go to Andrew Miriam, let's see a lightning fire one more time.
Let's go again.
This is incredible.
On demand, lightning on demand.
Dim the lights, here we go. There we are, look at the lightning.
There you go. Brilliant
Wow.
stuff. Thank
We're
you,
just trying to
gentlemen.
sabotage the next show by doing this. We probably should at some point go to...
So worth it.
Newsroom.
Dr. Daniel,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you
and
very
thank you
much.
for keeping us safe, most importantly.
And to your colleague who's near the lightning strike, thanks for pushing the buttons.
Yes.
Making it all happen. They've been setting it up since 5 a.m, would you believe?
Sadly, we haven't sabotaged all of GB News today. And here come the brilliant, of course, Andrew Pierce and Miriam Cates. What's up in your show, you two?
Well, more sparks will fly, but this time over defence black holes.
And also, migrants being moved into smart, modern estates near you.
Coming up.
Thank you, Britain, for making GB News Radio such a huge success. Whether you're in the car, on the go, or listening at home, thank you for choosing us as your radio station.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The A78 northbound Barrasey off slip to the A759 is closed for maintenance. The A483 is closed between Ruabon and Holton due to a police incident. In Warwickshire, the M6 northbound between junctions 3 and 4 has 3 lanes closed after a collision. Slough drivers face 40-minute delays eastbound on the M4 between junctions 6 and 5. In Portsmouth, a collision